The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today, we are going to review the All-22 coaches film from the Jets debacle against the Cowboys. Why does this team stink? We will ask Joe Blewett to tell us exactly why. That and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
The practices have been damn good. They are, but
the 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go. Here on a Tuesday, show number 2. On the day. Reminder, if you want Asmaniac merch because you're sick of rocking Jets merch, head over to jakeasman.com/shop. If you are a Patreon subscriber year-round, you get 20% off every single item in the store. Let's say hello right now to the great Joe Blewett from JetsXFactor.com. He is the best film analyst you will find. And Joe, not only did you have to watch the game in person, but God bless, you had to go and review the All-22 afterwards. How you feeling, my friend?
You forgot I also had to argue with people about going to the game as well, Jake. I know you saw that on Twitter and people telling people how to fan. So the most fun to go to the games, have the games suck, argue with fans about going to the games, the Jets getting their ass kicked as per usual, and then having to go home the next day and spend however many hours breaking it down, watching it, prepping for this show, prepping for my show. I want this to be fun so desperately one day. I just do. There's little glimpses of good football, but for the most part, 90% of my film watching has been brutal. And this week, it was a collective. It was the offense. It was the defense. It was pretty much everybody sucked this week. So when you get Rich Cimini, who's been covering how many Jets games at this point? 1,000, saying this is a top 10 worst in quotidian. It feels like that right now. And I'm not giving up. You know, you can't give up after 5 weeks. I'll preface it with all that stuff because you know what the comments will say, but this is the worst start you could possibly have. So only up from here, I guess. I really don't know. I feel like I've said that 1,000 times at this point, but can it really get worse than this?
Yeah, I think you nailed it there, right? I mean, the first 5 weeks, it's flat out unacceptable. If you said before the year started that the Jets were going to start 0-5, Jet fans would say you're too negative. How dare you? Like, what is wrong with you for thinking that way? And now that they are 0-5, and let's be real, they're a touchdown underdog in London on Sunday, most likely going to be 0-6. Now that this is happening, any fan pretending like this is fine, that's insane. Like, you're allowed to be critical of the football team being bad and at the same time say, hey, Aaron Glenn's had 5 games. He has 12 left this year. Let's hope we see some significant improvement because that's what you should want at the end of the day if you're a real Jet fan.
Yeah, that's what we've said. Like, we're Jets fans at the end of the day, right? Like, you're an analysis, I'm an analysis, whatever. And, I want them to be good, though, first and foremost. Again, it helps us. It's more fun to break down good film, helps the numbers. We've talked about how much the numbers decrease when they're bad like this. It's undeniable. We could be critical. Like, this is the worst start you could possibly have. So for the people excusing it, it's crazy. Oh, just have faith. It's like, have faith because of why? Like, give me something tangible to grab onto. And there's nothing. There really is nothing. And, all the talk of, oh, well, they competed, 1-score games versus the playoff teams. Again, like, you're not using context of like how they came back, what the situation was, when they're scoring the touchdowns, how the game started. It's just like you're grasping for straws at this point. So you can't kill people for being honest. I want them to be to be great just as much as any Jets fan in the entire world. But I have to be honest with what I'm seeing, and it's atrocious. So I'm going to call it out like that. I'm not saying to fire them after 5 games, but if they keep playing like this all season and they're one of the worst teams in NFL history, then what do you do? You're going to hand that staff the first overall pick and say, hey, ruin a quarterback, and we'll bring in a new head coach and a new GM next year? So I'm hoping to God they win 5-6 games so we don't even have to have that conversation. But right now, what else are you supposed to do other than be critical? Like, I go into my streams and stuff, people are like, oh, we'll only show the good stuff, only be positive. It's like, okay, well then I'm gonna have a 6-minute stream. Like, is that what you guys want? So we're only able to discuss what's given to us, and it's been absolute garbage.
Well said. Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I mentioned the line. Line is 7 right now. Jets Broncos on Sunday. We'll get Joe Blewett's thoughts on that game a little bit later. But Joe, let's get into this film review. And it's not pretty. What I will do to try and ease the pain, Jet fans, because I appreciate, and I know Joe does as well, anyone who still tunes into Jet content when the team is this bad, is we got an awesome giveaway today. I'm holding it in my hand right now. A signed CJ Mosley jersey, includes the authentication. So if you want a chance to win a CJ Mosley jersey, gift the membership. We did announce the winners of our weekly Asmaniac raffle this morning. The 3 winners already have been sent their respective prizes, so it's time to share the top prize for next week's Asmaniac raffle. It is a signed Justin Fields jersey. Prize 2, a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. And prize 3, a Bart Scott can't wait inscription Jets jersey. So 3 prizes for next week and your chance to win a signed CJ jersey at the end of the stream. You enter for the Mosley jersey. Usual rules apply. You are entered in our weekly raffle series. Now that we got that out of the way, Joe, to the pain we go, and let's get into some film. This first play, we all now can see it on your screen. Take it away.
Yeah, we're gonna do some bad from the offense, some bad from the defense, and if we got some extra time, we'll do some Garrett Wilson stuff. Talking about CJ Mosley and Bart Scott, they need some 57s on this team. They need some dogs, no doubt. So again, a lot of these feel so simple because they kind of are. Jets are running a zone play, a zone here. Now Beck does come in. I think he comes in motion. If not, he comes across the formation. Not Beck. You have this. I think it's Jeremy Ruckert. There are zone plays where he would kick out 90 here and then he would climb. I severely doubt it's that just based on his track. So you have Membu who's supposed to pick up 90, mental lapse, and the Jets are now behind the sticks on I don't know if this is first or second down, but near the goal line they get tackled for loss for 3 yards here because Membu just completely skips his assignment. So, and we'll see that throughout the film with the offense, just not knowing their assignments. And Membu has been very good. There's been some mental lapses here. Obviously, we saw this play. Well, we saw the play last week, I believe, where he didn't stand up at the snap and just let a DN get immediately in or a corner or whatever it was. But you obviously got to be more assignment sound here than just letting 90 shoot right in. Like it's zone. Everybody's zone stepping to the right. This is clearly his assignment, considering that you have the motion and you have Ruckert going to kick out. So he has to know exactly what he's responsible for, and that is 90. And we have a tackle for loss, and then the Jets, of course, end the first drive in a field goal because what else is new? And you're at the game, and it's like, after that play, and they kick a field goal against a team that's had an elite offense this season, you're like, here we go. Not like here we go again, but you had a bad feeling. Like you get a sinking feeling they don't score touchdowns immediately because the defense is so freaking bad, So, you can't end drives and field goals at this point for the Jets because, they're laying up 30 plus a game.
Solomon Thomas making the play because, of course, but think about it. That was right after the Jets chose to accept the penalty and have second and goal from the 3 as opposed to third and goal at the 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's asked Glenn this. I don't think they have. I think if he could do it over again, you take third and goal from the 1 and run a quarterback sneak twice and score a touchdown. I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what we would do. Again, and I know you've brought up, I believe when I've been on the show, it's like they're one of the teams who voted for the tush push and they're not using it. Like, why not use it? You have Justin Fields, who's one of the stronger quarterbacks in the NFL, and you're not deploying something that's like a cheat code in today's NFL. So I'm not going to kill him for that decision, to be completely transparent. Like it's 3 yards. You should be able to get it in 3 plays. So I get either way. I probably lean more towards with you, like saying, hey, just take it closer with 1 less down. I'm with you, but it's not a thing like looking back, or I'm gonna absolutely murder him for it. But yeah, it just you can't when it seems like when the Jets get into the red zone, it's false starts, it's procedural penalties, it's tackles for losses, it's blown assignments, and they're not good enough on offense to overcome that. Like I think they've shown that they can be that they could be a decent offense, but they can't overcome problems like that. So here we are again, field goal, and then that's the only points the Jets score for. Is that until the late third, early fourth when they score touchdowns, fourth quarter?
Yeah.
So
I mean, Joe, the last time the New York Jets scored a touchdown in the first half of a game was week 1. It's pathetic.
I did not ever think of that stat. I didn't know that stat existed, but yeah, that definitely feels right. So the Jets score when they're getting blown out, and teams are taking the foot off the gas, and then people will clamor and and say, oh well, the Jets came back, they showed fight, they only lost by 1 score. It's like, yeah, because Todd Bowles was dropping, quite literally one play was 11 guys into coverage, not one person blitzed. It's like, yeah, I think you get most quarterbacks can make plays like that. So it's just brutal. Like you see Daniel Jones out with the Colts. We talk a little bit pre-show, like Liam Cohen 4-1. You see all these teams turn around quickly. The Commanders last year, and we're still waiting. What's another year when we've already waited 14?
All right. This next wonderful play from our offense features Justin Fields playing the QB spot. Joe, take it away.
Yeah. Another quick one. You got single high safety. You got Garrett Wilson to the bottom and a 1-on-1 on the corner. He does a nice job getting on the DB's toes with a short stride release, which is just closing ground, being attached to the ground, allowing either an inside break or an outside break. He does it really well there. Times the inside break wipes the hands away of the DB, and he has a yard and a half, which is wide. It's not wide open in the NFL, but it's a throw you hit if you're a good quarterback, and he overthrows him by 4 yards there. So you're talking about again another situation where the Jets punt here. Where they could have had a touchdown, like you can't miss easy plays like this. And it's easy for me to say that, sitting here in my basement talking about the Jets, but I also don't get paid, $20 million a year or whatever to play quarterback. Like it's a throw you have to hit. And it's one of the reasons, like I know we talked about it a little bit before. It's like Garrett Wilson, man, like his stats, you think his stats are good now. Can you imagine him with a good quarterback if he's hit on these type of plays? He would be up there with all the receivers in the NFL in terms of statistics. So, yep, hurts to see. Again, a play that they should hit, 9 times out of 10. So
protection perfect there. Garrett wins his route, and it's funny because Connor Hughes, he's at the game watching from the press box, and he criticized Engstrand after that drive, saying, "Oh, the Jets' running game is working. They got away from it there." And I responded and I said, I mean, dude, Justin Fields has to hit Garrett Wilson when he's that open. Like that's what an NFL quarterback has to do. The whole point I thought of the Fields-Garrett connection was they have the chemistry. Well, Garrett did his job. He won his route. And like Fields has to put it on him. Like they, at the bare minimum, even if they don't score in the red zone after that completion, you have at least 3 points. Yeah. And it changes the game if you get points there.
Yeah, no, that's the problem too. Is like you hear people say like, "Oh, they don't take deep shots. They're not doing this. They're not doing that." But they're calling some of the stuff. It's just Justin Fields is not hitting it. Like there's a lot of intermediate stuff that's open and he's not hitting. You're seeing that play that he didn't hit. So the problem is if you know that your quarterback can't hit these plays and you're going to take these shots, then you're putting yourself behind the sticks on the other downs, and you know that he can't hit those either. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But when they do take shots, he doesn't hit them. So like Engstrand is in a tough position with Fields because I know the stats look good, but how much of those stats come in garbage time? Most of those stats come in garbage time minus week 1. So, he's not an easy guy to work with. And the next play I'm going to show is like the one thing that you want him to be doing well is read option. And he's been pretty consistently missing reads on read option and not pulling the ball and allowing tackles for losses and things like that. So he hasn't been consistent with running the ball. He fumbles the ball a lot. We know he's inaccurate at times. He can't read a defense in terms of pre-snap to post-snap. He struggles to process and, anticipate holes, things like that. So I know the stats look good and there's the truthers out there and we'll have to argue with them because they just screenshot the stats after the game and say, oh, he was good, but there's context to all this stuff. Like, are you coming back in the fourth quarter or are you putting these numbers up in the first quarter? And he's been putting up in the fourth quarter.
I've said it. The Jets are the kings of garbage time. And I mean, that has never been more true than this game that you were unfortunately witnessing in person on Sunday. I mean, here are the exact numbers, by the way, folks, courtesy of Joe Caparoso's tweet here. These are so here's when the Jets have scored their offensive touchdowns since week 1, right? So this is from week 2 on. They have not scored an offensive touchdown until they've fallen behind by 2 touchdowns. And the stat I gave earlier is correct. They've not scored a first half touchdown since the Steeler game, which to this point was by far their best complete team performance of the season. The moral victory game. They have no real victories, and it's been worse since that day. So what did they really accomplish? Nothing. Losing 30-3. Then they scored their first touchdown on the 4th against the Bills, losing 23-6 before they scored their first offensive touchdown against Tampa, the game I melted at, losing 17-3 before they scored their first offensive touchdown in the 3rd quarter against Miami. And then, Joe, you were there, losing 30-6 before they scored their first offensive TD against the Cowboys. Kings of garbage time. That's been the Jets.
Yeah, no, and again, you'll have people who try to make excuses for it, and I wish they wouldn't come back. I mean, like Sans, like Garrett Wilson, some guys getting some stats not feel absolutely terrible. I want them to get even more blown out because we don't have to argue with the people who say, oh, they only lost by 1 score. You know, like, let's be realistic. They've gotten blown out in 4 out of their 5 games. 4 out of 5 games got absolutely blown out, and one of them to a miserable Miami Dolphins team who I believe they just lost to the Panthers, right? Who's probably, you know, we'll talk about, oh, the Panthers should be the Jets' first win. Well, they blew out the Falcons and they beat the Dolphins, so you may very well not beat the Panthers. You know, a Bucs team with 3 out of 5 missing offensive linemen, their best receivers out, you know, half the game, and Godwin's out that entire game. You got the Cowboys with a bunch of backups, and you make them look like, you know, the prime Patriots or something like that. So yeah, 4 to 5 games, they've been absolutely non-competitive, and it's inexcusable. That's all I can say at this point.
The pain never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, the first person to enter the CJ Mosley signed jersey raffle is the incomparable Bobby Midnight. Yeah, baby. Hit the Jet chant. Thank you. You're in for 1. Super chat from Eli. He's in for 2, and then we'll get back to the film review. He says, memo to Engstrand, wide receiver screens, rub routes, drag routes. This is what I want to see when Garrett goes up against Surtain. If Moss or Barron line up against Garrett Wilson, let him cook and throw him the ball. Joe, your thoughts on Eli's take here?
Well, they try to run a screen in the red zone. He bounced the pass because he's a little bit too slow to snap out of getting the ball snapped to him, and then he delivers it late, and then he has to adjust his arm angle, and he bounces it. So he tried that. I want to see a little bit more of it, but still, we had an example of that not working this week. And drag routes and stuff, like they run drags and overs and like jerk routes and stuff quite a bit. It's just he's not consistent with getting the ball to it within the rhythm of the play, so they don't have opportunity for yak. I think one of the next plays I'll show, if maybe I think it's the next play I'll show. He has like a jerk route over the middle where it's just like a drag with like a sit down option, and he misses Beck on it. It's a small window, but it's one he should anticipate. So yeah, like. Engstrand, I think Engstrand's been fine. I think he's been a B overall as a coordinator. The quarterbacks are missing some things. His 4th down calls would be better. Again, I think he needs better answers versus the blitz, and a little bit more screens. But I'm not putting this on Engstrand. There's a lot of people to blame. I can't kill Engstrand, especially in his first year. You know, he's been okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, JR says Fields not the only QB to miss that throw. He made the exact same throw last week, and the TD got called back. Yeah, but if you're going to be a, quote, franchise quarterback or you're going to be a long-term starter, those are the throws you make, man. Like, that's it. You can't just produce in garbage time when there's no pressure and the defenses are calling off the dogs. Like, you got to make throws when the game matters, and that's a throw he didn't make.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right in terms of the pressure. It's easier to make that throw when you're down 2 scores and there's no pressure to hit it, but when it's first quarter, the game is tied, it's a much different situation, and that's been the Jets' problem. Is like, one, like Breece Hall said, they shoot themselves in the foot, but then they just multiply on it. You know, they fumble the ball in the red zone consistently, and then they just all shit hits the fan. You know, it's just like, it's so they can't perform in big situations right now. They choke consistently, and that's been something the Jets have done for years now. But it's much more evident with this team that they just completely fold. Any sign of adversity, it's ridiculous. It really is.
All right, here we go. Back to the thrilling film review. Here's Justin Fields making a poor read on an option. Go ahead.
Like, is there much more to do here? Like, it just all I'm doing is showing some of this. Like, if obviously the DN to the right, number 13, is unblocked and Justin Fields is reading him, and if he crashes down at a flat angle, you pull the ball. You know, it's an obvious read option. You got a lead blocker to the right here. I don't know if it's Beck or if it's Mason Taylor. Or even Ruckert. You have the crack block coming from the receiver to the left side of the screen. You have open grass there. and he hands the ball off, and it's a tackle for loss. So all right, yeah, I believe it's a tackle for loss. Like, what are we doing here in terms of just reading a DN crashing? Like, it's pretty simple football, and he's not able to do it. So
this has been bad since week 1, by the way. He played great week 1 overall, but there were several plays I remember where he made the wrong decision on the option, and it doesn't appear like it's gotten any better.
It is every single game. He's either pulling a ball when he's not supposed to be pulling a ball, or he's handing a ball off where he's not supposed to be handing a ball off. So it's just a processing thing. You could know what you're doing in the film room and in the practice field when there's no pressure, just like we were talking about. But once the bright lights are on, it's a different ball game, and he just pretty consistently makes poor decisions. And this is one of them where it should easily be a gain of a decent chunk of yards. Actually, probably a relatively big gain if he can outrun 27 and get vertical. And it's a loss of yardage. So it's simple things like that where it's like, oh yeah, Engstrand has to do this, Engstrand has to do that. But if your quarterback can't operate, how are you supposed to succeed as an offensive coordinator? And again, I know the people will screenshot the stats, but again, there's context to everything. Take away the fourth quarter and what would his stats be? It's a little bit different.
You want to know? Well, here's some numbers for you that are very similar, right? So this includes the Tyrod game in Tampa. The Jets have averaged 6.2 points per game and 170 total yards in the first 3 quarters since week 2 on. So throw out their outlier game, which is to this point, that is clearly an outlier, what they were able to do with no film on the Justin Fields Engstrand offense in week 1. The outlier game, throw that aside. And since week 2 on, this team averages 6 points through the first 3 quarters of the game and 170 yards. So they are the kings of garbage time offensively till proven otherwise.
Yeah, and that's with the rushing attack. Isn't it like top 5? I think it's at least like top 5 in the NFL in terms of like yards per carry and all that stuff. And you still can't score. It's just every time they get to the red zone, they
fumble. Yeah, they fumble. Brees, Braylon Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, figuratively and literally, they fumble the ball as soon as they get into the red zones. Like, you're moving the ball, it's just they can't finish. It's all about like third downs, red zones, and stuff like that. Like, if you're the kings between the 20s, it really doesn't matter in today's NFL. You have to score when you're down there, and they're just not. And if it's not a touchdown, it's a field goal, and if it's not a field goal, it's a fumble, or them trying to go for it on fourth down and not having any creativity and they getting stuffed, So again, I've been doing this for years.
Garbage.
I've been doing this for years. It's really never been worse than this. Like, at least when they lost in 20, 21, 22, all these years, like, it was lack of talent. They have talent. They are not this bad of a team, so it makes it even more frustrating. If they just sucked, okay, it is what it is. But the amount of blown coverages, blown assignments, blown protections, Fashanu with the one play running into, which I actually don't even think I put in here, which I should find really quickly and put it in here. But you have the play where on 4th and 1 where you roll out Beck and Fashanu runs into him. It's like guys are running into each other. So there's times it legitimately looks like a high school operation from this Jets offense. And defense, obviously, as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, your New York Jets, a well-coached, fine-tuned machine that's here to win now.
We're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it. So any questions?
My question has been the same since the year started. When do the wins actually happen, Aaron Glenn? My God.
Panthers might be a little bit risky. Browns, their defense is very, very good. Are we going to be able to score any points on that defense? Who do we got? The Bengals. The Bengals might be their first, but
not anymore. That's a Joe Flacco revenge game. So now we're gonna have to deal with that one, Jet fans. Joe Flacco, will carve up. I
didn't hear that.
The Jets. Yeah, they acquired Joe Flacco in a trade today. So now we're gonna have to deal with that.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's a loss. So, hey, at this point, dude, I really don't know. Like, I was supposed to go to New England. I might cancel that. I don't know if I want to go there to get blown out by New England and get shit on by Patriots fans. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson will be back. Hopefully it comes soon, man, because I don't know if I can handle 0-10 or whatever it's going to be.
You want to hear something crazy? So since week 1, I'm in an ESPN New York Survivor pool with our listeners on the station. All the hosts on the station are in it. I am the last ESPN New York host standing, right? There's still people in the pool, but I'm the last one left. My strategy, Joe, and this has been a reverse jinx. I'm trying to get eliminated. I have picked the team playing the Jets each week so far. I'm the last one standing. I won among all the local ESPN New York hosts in the market. And I picked against the Jets each week, and I'm picking Denver this week, and I'm hoping I get eliminated. I don't want the $5,000 prize. I'd rather get a damn win. And I can't even get eliminated in a knockout pool that I don't want to win in. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I can see that, like the reverse strings type deal. Like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
betting on them, so it's a thing. It's a thing where I get it, Jake. You're a Jets fan. We're Jets fans, so like you're guarding yourself. So at least if they lose, you kind of win, but you
Well,
much rather
I'm
lose.
trying to lose so that the karma helps the Jets, right?
No.
It doesn't work.
You rather lose, but that 5% of win kind of feels a little bit good. I get it. It's never been worse. I really don't know what to say at this point. It's been consistent since week 2. We're just and even week 1. How many coverages did I come on here and break down that they completely blew? Yep. 3 out of the 4 touchdowns were complete blown coverages. Not a guy just getting beat one-on-one, just absolutely blown coverages. So there's really, I just don't want to have to repeat it's October 7th. And I feel like I've been saying the same thing for 4 weeks now. I just want different words to come out of my mouth. Like, just like expand my vocabulary in terms of football. Like, it just bad, terrible, gross. Like, who wants to do this? It's so bad talk. At least you have chats and stuff like that, and the people in the streams and my streams, your streams, like it makes it fun. Because if I didn't have a way to vent, I don't know what would happen.
Dylan says 1.5 quarters of competitive football in the last 16 quarters. Amen, Dylan. You're right. All right, next play here. Jets offensive line. Highlight this one for us, Joe.
Yeah, the only thing I really want to highlight here is I think at this point the Jets are down like 23-3 or 31-3 or 26-3, whatever the score was. They're getting absolutely blown out right now. You have a Cowboys defense who is going to be pinning their ears back to come after the quarterback and be guessing pass first every single time you have to obviously pass the ball to get back into the game. And these guys want to pad their stats. And you're calling a protection, which it's a pretty frequent protection in NFL, where you're going to just pull the guard and have him act as a Fields, who I could argue that you want him to step up into the pocket, but the only problem is you have Breece Hall in front of him. You like to see Breece do maybe they're depending on them biting on the play fake for it to set. Like, you need that DN to sit there a little bit and really be guessing run for that protection to work. And it's not going to, because they're pinning their ears ballot at points, but things like that obviously hurt them a little bit as well. And I have another one from the offense I want to show on the 4th and 1 where I don't love the call either. And obviously it doesn't work out because Fashanu doesn't know where he's supposed to be. But I don't love the 4th and 1 play call, rolling your quarterback to his weak side and asking him to kind of throw against his body. So you have I don't know, is it playing on your screen? It's not playing on my screen, Jake. Okay,
yep, there it is.
Yeah, so you have the play action, you have the rollout, and you have the flood concept to Fields' left side to our right side. And Fashanu has no idea what's going on, and then you have Beck who runs into him. So you have Beck, I think it's on a slider out. Let me just look at it really quickly and just double check it's on a slider out. You have a slider out from Beck. So what you absolutely cannot do here is gain depth at if you're Olo Fashanu, he gains depth. He knocks into Beck. Beck would have leverage on 59. Look at how 59's hips are turned to the inside. That's the guy who's responsible for Beck. Beck would just squirt out into the flat right there, most likely, and pick up probably a relatively easy first down as long as he catches the ball and Justin Fields is on target. But you have Fashanu who gets his face crossed by 41. It's the one thing you absolutely do not want to happen here. He's a little bit overzealous, gets too it's just situational. He's thinking too much there. He's one-track mind, not knowing exactly what the offense is trying to execute, and he gets in the way of what should just simple execution things are screwing this team week over week.
I think Fields checked out of a run to go to that too, if I remember correctly, the sequencing there.
Yeah, and even if he did, the problem is I don't have enough time to watch it on broadcast, so I don't know if he actually did or not. If he did, fine. But it would have worked if Fashanu didn't run into him. It would have worked. Like, they bid on the run. Beck would have been open by a yard or two there and would have been able to turn up and catch that ball. But simple execution things. Fashanu, one being too flat, and then exemplifying the problem by then dropping back and being lost in space, not knowing exactly what he's supposed to do and getting in Beck's way. It's just there's always a player or two on every play who it's either the quarterback, you have some OC, you have the offensive line. The offensive line's been pretty good this season for the most part. I think the quarterbacks holding the ball has affected the numbers. This game, they were straight up bad, though. This was their first game where I was like, this is awful. Membo didn't have a good game. Fashanu was awful. Tittman struggled. Meyer struggled. Simpson struggled. There was not one positive on the offense, really, minus Breece, which I think the offensive line actually opened up some holes for him, so I give him credit there. But Breece, Garrett Wilson, Taylor, past that, everything was just dreadful as per the usual. So,
and even Breece's game is marred by the critical turnover that can't happen in the red zone. So even that is not even a true positive.
Yeah, and by the way, if you do follow me on Twitter, if I'm at the Jets game, just understand I have a few in me, so I get a little bit more negative and a little bit more down. But like after the game, and the funny thing is, Jake, I don't know if you saw the tweet, but I said like after the fumble, I was like, Brees is going to tweet out like Psalm 17:3 or whatever. And then today, somebody sent me a thing of like him sending out some type of. I was like, oh, there it is, because it's just predictable. But my thing with Brees is, and he ran well. The offensive line, I think, did more work than him. But with that being said, it doesn't matter if you fumble the ball, and he needs to take accountability. Like, oh yeah, like I want to see what I can do elsewhere, whatever year I'm in, whatever exactly he said. But it's like, hey, I have to not fumble the ball. Like that is my fault. But nobody takes personal accountability. Even Sauce, who gets beat for that touchdown, which George Pickens clearly extended off of him twice. I'm not even gonna kill Sauce for that. But take some accountability. Sauce is so quick to blame other people. So even though Sauce and some of these guys are great players, I think they feed into that mindset of just defeatist. So, I would like to see some personal accountability, call themselves out, call their teammates out, but everything is woe is me in the Jets locker room for the most part, minus like Garrett Wilson, so here we are.
Shout out to you, Garrett. We love you. All right, here we go. Michael Clemens being a dumbass. Take it away, Joe. Not too strong. Sorry.
No. Like I wish I almost want to I want to get into the good games so I could break down more intricate stuff, because it's all so simple that it's not, none of it feels intricate. It's all just such easy stuff that anybody could really see. So I want to get into the more complex stuff, but I can't until they play good football, So Clemens, the left defensive end, but to the right of your screen against the left tackle. And just look how long it takes him to recognize that the ball was handed off on a jet sweep. He's just lost. Like you have to key in on the exchange point of the quarterback, and if you see that motion coming, you have to key on him. And even if he doesn't get the ball handed off to him, just because of the threat, and it's why it's a good play. And if you fake the jet sweep, like he may expand a little bit here, and then you open up some interior gaps, but either sit or expand a little bit to see if he does get the ball. Don't just crash down. He crashes down. He's completely lost. And then, credit to Sauce.
Sauce played well tackling wise in this game. One thing I'll say for Sauce, he has tackled way better this year than he did last year.
Specifically, the last 2 weeks, he's getting a lot more physical, a lot more involved in the run game. I think he's tired of hearing about it, but the last 2 weeks, he's been much more physical, even throwing shots when the running back is going down. Like last week, he took on a block from a running back. And then dropped his head into A-chain and made like almost like helmet-to-helmet contact with him, but like showing some gumption there. But obviously, you don't want to get beat for the touchdown. Pickens pushed off of him clearly twice, and it's why I hate the refs and why I hate watching Pickens play. But then he also got beat on 3rd and 7 on a slant route. So like, while he's been better in the run game, he needs to obviously to make to be up to the $30 million or whatever he's making a year. He has to not get beat on 3rd down, not get beat for touchdowns at the end of the day. So he's been struggling a little bit. He's definitely not the Jets' problem on defense. Maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic here, but I really do not think another team in the NFL has a worse DN 2, 3, and 4 in the entire league. I just can't see it. Or sorry, I guess 3, 4, 5, but JJ out. But the DNs that the Jets are playing have been just absolutely abysmal. We know Clemens sucks. We know McGregor hasn't really done anything. And then even with Barron, like if you go back and watch a review of Barron, I kind of said it, like I think he's a tweener. Like I don't really know where he fits. He's not strong enough at times in the run game. He gets kind of worked off the ball by tight ends, but he's also not athletic enough to really rush the passer consistently from DN spots. So I thought he was kind of a tweener and not the best pick. And here we are. He's been dreadful. In terms of the Kiko thing, Kiko's actually made some plays. The mental stuff has not been there with him, like over pursuing and not getting outside quick enough. Like he's shown flashes. Barron has showed absolutely nothing. So I think it's early to give up on Kiko. Like he's a 5th round pick. But Barron has been just absolutely abysmal. So
they traded up for him too. Yep. There you go. Sam, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Black Gypsy is the second Asmaniac to enter the raffle. I'm surprised. I figured people wanted the signed CJ jersey. Boy, do we need him. Signed CJ Mosley jersey is the prize. I'll mail it to you this week. If you are the winner, Black Gypsy is officially in the Asmaniac raffle now for one, and he qualifies for next week's top 3 prizes, which feature a signed Bart Scott jersey, signed Sauce jersey, and a signed Justin Fields jersey. Okay, Mr. Blewett, next play in the series of Michael Clemens not knowing what he's doing on a football field.
Yeah. Again, it's just recognition in how long it takes him. Again, left defensive end on the right side right here. You have what looks to him like a split zone, or even like a one back power there, a guard trap, and he falls for it at first, which is fine. But keep your eyes up. Like, look how long, and I don't want to do it freeze frame because it'll get very, very choppy, I think, when we're kind of running all this stuff. But it takes him forever. If you go I'll go frame by frame here, I guess, to recognize, look where his eyes are still. And it is harder said than done. Trust me, you're on the football field. It's really hard to see where the ball is. But again, when I was struggling with it in high school at times, I was not making, $3 million a year like Clemens is. Like, he's still going. Look how long it takes frame by frame. Oh, man, he has the ball. And then I believe this is play. Watch him in pursuit of this play. Big ships turn slow. Look how, or no, that's not that play. We'll do a different one of how just freaking unathletic he is in terms of the change of direction. Just an abysmal football player in Clemens. I cannot wait to see him gone. And then you have this play, Jake, which I think I texted you about this one during the game because I saw it live. I couldn't get the arrow perfect on this one, but just watch Sherwood's effort on this play. The only reason this is excusable if somehow he's hurt, maybe I guess it's excusable. But even if, like, just run to the ball. One, I think he's supposed to be in a curl to flat here. It looks like it's going to be like a 3 buzz, and he's supposed to be in the curl to flat. He falls for the play action and the fullback leaking out right off the jump, so he's out of position. And I think Glenn actually mentioned like something about guys being out of position. I'm pretty sure he was kind of talking about Sherwood without actually saying his name. And then the dude starts jogging back to the football. Like, he's jogging now. Like, you're talking about he has a pursuit angle. You're hoping that he gets, I think this is Jake Ferguson. You're hoping Jake Ferguson gets slowed up a little bit, and Sherwood is barely jogging, dude, barely jogging, and you're making $15 million a year to barely jog. On top of that, obviously there's some bad pursuit here. Like, in terms of Cisco, you have to be much more forceful here. Like, he has an angle to the outside here. Either dive across, create some havoc. Knock the blocker into the running back, cut across the blocker's face. He kind of just passive and just lets him have the outside angle. So you want to see Cisco do better there. But really, the thing is just highlighting Sherwood and the lack of pursuit on this play. Like, this isn't 23-3. This isn't 30-3, whatever it became. This is 3-3 at this point, and you have guys jogging to the football. So how can you say that the players haven't given up on Glenn or the message or Wilkes at this point? Because you have guys, again, not even showing effort in a 3-3 game. That's probably the most concerning play we have done the entire time I've been on the show for 5 weeks. Guys not trying at 3-3, right? What else do you say?
I mean, and I like Sherwood, but this is bad. I mean, it's Muhammad Wilkerson 2.0 with that contract so far.
Dude, let's be real here. If Sherwood was not making $15 million a year, or just in general, he's playing like a bench player. He's not even playing like a starter. He's not even been. He's playing like a linebacker 3, 4, 5 right now. He's not even close to being a starting level player right now. And you're paying him $15 million a year, which is a top 5 probably linebacker contract in the NFL. He's been replacement level player at the best of Jag, and that's really sad for Sherwood. And I know Mosley, saying that he's going to improve and all this stuff, but can you improve effort? Like, this is not a mental thing. This is defeatist attitude. Oh, there's a screen out there. I'm off my spot, and I'm just gonna let him walk in for a touchdown. Like,
that's a guy.
What are we doing here?
I thought they quit on Sunday in the first half defensively, and I don't know if you have the 66-yard touchdown run and the pathetic effort on that, but it actually is the next play I see. So we'll do that. But like that play and the play we're about to do. That's why I think if you're Aaron Glenn, you got to take over the defense, dude, because I think they quit on Wilkes, which to me is quitting on the head coach. And that's where the head coach has got to come in and basically be like, this is not going to fly. This can't happen. Like, we should not be this goddamn bad. Like, look at the Jaguars last night. Like, look how they force turnovers. Look how they create havoc. They were worse than the Jets last year and everything. And now all of a sudden they're flying around forcing turnovers. Like, effort, man, buy-in from the coaching staff. I don't think the Jets have it, especially on defense.
Yeah, no, it's clear that they're not buying into Wilkes' message, and you're giving up in a 3-3 ball game. At this point, like, I know Glenn I honestly think the problem is how bad the Lions were in their first year. He's thinking about Dan Campbell not firing him, so then he's kind of lumping that into this situation. Doesn't want to do the same thing to Wilkes, but at a certain point, you got to save your job. Like, this has been the worst defense I've ever seen for the Jets. With all pros at 3 levels of the defense. Obviously Quincy's out, but still you have Sauce. You spent money in the secondary. You got some talent on the defensive line, and players already tapping out. I think you have to change. I think you have to, if not fire him, at least take away the play calling. You have to do something because that's embarrassing, dude. Like that is embarrassing. That's something, again, I played at a shitty high school. If my coach turned that in high school, he would be like, he would be reaming us out and making us run laps and stuff, or do whatever. And
they're embarrassing Aaron Glenn. Like honestly,
Yep.
like Aaron Glenn, like he wanted this job. He's a Jet. Like they're making him look like a fool. They're making him look like an a-hole. They're making him look like a clown and a joke. And he's getting memes for dancing. And we're having fun with that because we're going to cry around here. But like other fans, like ripping him and ripping the Jets. And it's like the players are quitting on him. They're making him look bad. Like if anything, Aaron Glenn, like you got to do something to prevent this from because it's your ass on the line if they win 3 games and people are talking about you getting one and done.
Yeah, save your own job. Please stop bringing up other coaches and other situations and other teams and how they lose in the league. Just focus on yourself and acknowledge that it has not been good enough. When guys aren't showing effort, when Tony Adams is biffing a tackle, bench him. When Sherwood is biffing in terms of pursuit, bench him. Unfortunately, like it's a thing you have to do to show some accountability. If you have receivers, Lazard, who doesn't look interested at times, why isn't Skinner up here? Why isn't Pritchett up here? Like I want effort at the minimum. And again, we've lowered the bar to an extraordinary level for Glenn. The one thing we were promised was accountability and a team we could be proud of, which is kind of insinuating effort. And we've seen now we're starting to not even effort. So what are we supposed to hang our hat on with this defense? What is he doing? If they were playing balls to the wall, I'd be like, okay, they're at least playing hard for him, but they're not. So,
all right, here we go. The play that if I could pick one play that defines this defense in my mind through the first 5 weeks, it's this play we're about to do, the Williams run before halftime. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this was after the Cowboys scored the long touchdown. Was that Pickens, and then we went 3 and out, and then this was the first play, right? After they got the ball back?
So to set the scene, remember, it's 10-3, Jets driving. Brees fumbles. Dallas takes over. Yep. So it's 10-3, 2 minutes, 18 seconds to go before halftime. They already scored a touchdown. Jets then go 3 and out. So Dallas gets another chance here, and they're calling a draw to run out the clock. And then the Jets are like, nah, we don't want you to run out the clock. We want you to score another touchdown. Here you go.
Yeah, 66 yards on one play. So you got a draw. You got the 2 guards pulling. You have down blocks from the right tackle and the center, both the left guard and the right guard trap on the front side of the run. And dude, Sherwood here, I don't know what to say at this point. One, he's not ever been good in coverage. And even in the run game, I've said it consistently that he runs himself into situations and isn't patient enough over the top and kind of gets himself lost in the traffic. I get biting to the play side here, the fake side, but you got to stay aware. You can't encroach that close to the line of scrimmage. You got to play a little bit more over the top and keep your eyes up because, hey, I don't know if you know Sherwood, but the Jets have been getting destroyed by play action, by fakes, by misdirections. You kind of have to keep your wits about you, and he bites as hard as he can possibly bite. So he's out of position badly. Again, at least stay a little bit higher, and then play this back inside. Completely biffs on it. So right off the jump, this should be Sherwood at least trying to make a play on this. You got Barron, and remember Jake when we talked about the Jarvis Brownlee signing last week, I talked about him defeating the stiff arm, and you have to be prepared as a tackler for a stiff arm to come out because it's a lot of running backs do, a lot of ball carriers do is they stiff arm you. Javonte Williams hangs a stiff arm out there, and Barron catches a stiff arm in the face, so he's not able to wrap him down. Again, you have a corner doing it with the Titans in Jarvis Brownlee. Barron, your starting defensive end, doesn't know how to defeat a stiff arm. He biffs on the tackle. You get Oliver, who's blocked out of the play, which, okay, it's an offensive lineman. I can't kill Oliver trying to get involved back into it. But then you have Tony Adams, who's coming in pursuit, who is passive. Again, they're so passive and they think so much. Like, it's football. It's an aggressive sport. Get involved here. Get over the top. Create havoc on this play. He kind of plays patty cake, goes behind instead of going in front of the play, misses the tackle. And then you have Cisco coming down, who, is taking a fine angle initially, but recognize that the running back's taking it vertical inside of Oliver. And again, just create havoc and biting so hard on that and not keeping his wits about him. Terrible buy. It's just really, really bad. It's just really, really bad. At this point, what else do you say? It's just been all over the place. We have 3 more left on defense. And again, it's just blown coverages, missed tackles, just something we've been discussing now for 5 weeks in a row. But on this one, hopefully I don't know why it's not playing again. Let's see if it plays.
Right.
Okay, it's going. Yeah. So on this play, again, it's just guys knowing exactly what their assignment is and who to pass off if guys are coming underneath the formation, if there's misdirection, things like that. And you have Maui Noah, who's responsible for the curl to flat zone to Dak's left, and he bites on play action. And you have Ferguson, who is wide open because Maui Noah bites so hard. Like, look how far he is away. Like, Maui Noah is by the hash right now. And you have Ferguson, who's to the top of the numbers. You're talking about 10 yards of separation. Like, I understand getting outflanked a little bit and then having to turn on the jets and like go in pursuit, but these guys' eyes at the linebacker level are just so bad and what to look for, and guys coming across the formation and not being able to pick stuff up. It's just like, again, and we can get on Wilkes, man coverage, third down, not disguising zone versus man where he's putting guys, but doesn't matter if they're in man, doesn't matter if they're in zone, they're getting beat. Like, what, and I'm not excusing him, but it's not just Wilkes. He can't just be the scapegoat. It's also the individuals on this team are just playing in an awful, just awfully. And we kind of discussed it. It's like, who do you put blame on? And it's a longer discussion. Is it the coaches? Is it the players? You don't really know until you're in the meeting rooms. What are they emphasizing? How are they teaching it? How are these players taking to coaching? It's a large conversation, but none of it's
good. Is the linebacker coach bad, right? Like is it the position coaches too, not hammering home basic fundamental responsibilities for the scheme?
It's part of the problem is, like, you got all these rookie coaches and stuff, and while it's great that you may have these guys who have played the game before and all this stuff to motivate your players, if you don't know how to teach football and you don't know how to break down film, then what's the point of being a former player? Like, I get it. You want a former player, but there are coaches who haven't played before who can teach things better and who even know more about the game. Like, unfortunately for some of these guys, they play the game, but do they know exactly what they were supposed to be doing, or were they coached really well? What's it Joey? It's not Joey. What's the Aaron Curry, right? He was a linebacker for the Steelers for a few years, right? Like, is he a good position coach, or was he just a good player because of what he was coached? Like, it's just the problem with such a young staff. Clearly they're not getting taught well, and they're not executing at the same time. I can't just put it on one person. Again, this defense is historically bad. It's everybody. It really is everybody.
Oh my God.
Brutal. I got 2 more on defense. If you want to just do 2 more on defense, because it's just so bad. Like, I'd rather just talk to people. It's just like, I almost texted you this week, like, hey, can I just do like 2 plays and then we can just talk to people, because like, who wants to watch this? I have started, maybe it's me, Jake. My Jake Asman tenure so far through 5 weeks has probably been the worst 5-week stretch anybody's ever had. So maybe it's me and Bobby, not Bobby, Beastbreaker really does need to come on and break down the film, because, man, I just don't know how it gets worse than my 5-week stretch here, 4 of the 5 weeks. But here we are again with Clemens. He's to the right side of the screen, the left defensive end. He's a 6 tech over number 86 right now. And again, the dude is just absolutely lost in terms of containing the edge there and just having good eyes and recognizing that, hey, like, look at the exchange point here, Jake. Like, it's not even faked out that well. And that's one of the problems the Jets are having too, is they think the pressure's coming so quickly that they don't fake any of their, like, they don't actually stuff the ball in any of their fake exchanges, so nobody bites on their play action. But this isn't even a great play action. Like, it's not hid that well of one Michael Clemens, which we've been doing for 3 years, or I've been doing for 3 years now, just showing how bad this player truly is.
I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. You're not serious about winning when you keep this guy around. And then Glenn came across really wrong a couple weeks back when he was asked about Clemens, and he did the old, well, you guys don't see beyond the box score what he's actually doing. And it's like, you can't play that card when we all have access to the same coach's film that you guys use to prepare every week. Like, you can't fool people. Like, there's people that played that highlight the film and highlight how bad Clemens has been. There's data that shows you the Jets EPA per play, what it is when he's out there versus when he's not. Like, it's a joke. It really is. It's tough to take this franchise seriously when that guy's playing the amount of snaps he continues to play.
That, and especially when it's only like compounded by the fact that Jets fans were calling for defensive end depth the entire offseason. There's not many fans who weren't screaming for depth, screaming about Xavier Gibson. And these guys are losing you. I'm not saying Clemens individually loses you ball games, even though some games he may. It's obviously much more than just that on the defense. But it's just frustrating when we see it. We see all this stuff, and they're playing like this, and it's just like fans are like, how do we see this and you guys don't? Or
it's insane.
Why do you guys not act upon it?
And I thought Joe Caporoso on Badlands brought up a great point. Like watching Dante Fowler play for the Cowboys, that's a guy like Jadeveon Clowney or Zadarius Smith. He signed a 1-year, $6 million deal for $3 million or $5 million guaranteed. Like Jets, they have cap space. They chose not to use it. That's a guy in the offseason that instead of Rashad Weaver for the minimum, you bring in Dante Fowler for $5 million guaranteed, $6 million overall, and he's decent. He's solid. He's an NFL player. Michael Clemens, Watts, McGregor. These guys aren't NFL players that are getting the amount of reps they're getting. And they had to prepare for the fact that Jermaine was either not going to be the same guy right away, or there was a chance he'd be banged up, which unfortunately he's been hurt. So like, this is on them. This is on Muji. This is on Glenn. They allowed their hubris to thinking that they could fix Michael Clemens because he looks like an Adonis to all of a sudden allow them to be able to, turn him into a real player. And guess what? It's backfired. And the Jermaine injury is unfortunate, but you have to be better prepared for that.
Yeah, no. I think it's specifically defensive end and receiver. Like even tight end, we were complaining about a little bit. That's worked out pretty well because Ruckert's actually been decent this year, so we'll take it. But we were all screaming about a receiver too for however many months. And then with the DN, just like you said, like one, JJ's injured coming off an Achilles injury. And also with that, you have McDonald, who at this point in his NFL career has not been a good run stuffer. He's improved the last 2 weeks as a run stuffer. But you're limited there as well. So you're going to have to rely on Clemens and probably who's ever behind JJ. And you bring in a UDFA from last year, McGregor, who I don't even think made the team last year. I think he was just probably sitting on the practice squad. And Barron, who's a 5th-round pick who you traded up for. But I think that was a poor evaluation on him because I think he's kind of a tweener. He just doesn't really fit anywhere. It's just frustrating when the fans called it out in January, February, what this team needed. And it's part of the problem. It's why they're losing games, because some of the stuff the fans called out. So it's only that much more frustrating.
Good Lord. All right, here we go. More Jets defensive magic for you, Joe.
Yeah. This is another blown one on Sherwood. So, now this is all man, and it's gonna be a little bit hard without like being able to circle guys and stuff on this one, but you got man coverage all over the board here to the bottom three, like this bottom three triangle of Jets defenders standing up off the ball are all in man coverage. You got top of the screen man coverage, Sauce versus Pickens. And they didn't have like any pass off rules or anything like that. You got Sherwood, who's in man coverage on the running back, and the running back breaks into the flat on play action, and Sherwood is beat by however many yards that is, vertically and horizontally. Let's call it 7 yards altogether, and it's a walk-in touchdown. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, I don't think they've taken the green dot away from Sherwood. This is the guy who is calling your defensive plays and your adjustments. This guy. Sherwood's been blowing more coverage and stuff than anybody on the team. That's another point. If he does still have that green dot on his helmet, you have to take it away. The only problem is, who do you give it to? Because it's Maui Noah, it's Cisco, it's Adams, it's Moore. Like, that's who's calling defense on the second level here? Like, who knows what they're doing? And it's really nobody. But Sherwood has been abysmal. He's really, really been just absolutely abysmal. And then on top of it, the lack of effort thing. That's really with plays like this. It's just. Again, I don't know what else to say. It's just like what is this? It is so bad. Just crossers all day, play actions all day versus the Jets, and legitimately because of the defense, they have a. I don't think it's how real of a shot is it, but if you told me a world where the Jets win 1 or 2 games because the defense is this bad, I could believe you, because how do you win like this? It doesn't matter the talent the other team has. It doesn't matter if they have receiver 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because they can't pass off anything. So just run a bunch of, picks and rubs and crossers and play action. And who was the guy this week? Flournoy or whatever the hell his name was? Absolute nobody from like a practice squad, 6th-round pick or whatever he was. And he's dicing up the Jets. It does not matter. Like you can have Kellen Davis out there carving up the Jets with how bad their coverage is right now. So it's absolutely inexcusable, whether it's on Wilkes or Glenn or Aaron Curry, whoever it is, they have to fix their blown coverages, because it's been 5 weeks of me coming on the show and showing 5, 6, 7 a game where they're just not even close to covering guys.
Brutal. Kirk Benkirk, who's a former NFL QB, he said, watching the Jets film this morning, defense so uninspired and let up 3 of the easiest passing touchdowns you'll see.
We just did all 3 of them. we did all 3. You saw it. Like 2 complete blown coverages. And then actually, what was the third? I don't know the third one he's talking about, because actually it was a run play, but I'm sure I do it in the full review as well. But yeah, it's embarrassing how bad this defense is. I understand if it's a talent thing. Maui Noah gets beat in man coverage by Jake Ferguson because he's a better player. Okay, but being 7 yards, 8 yards off of your assignment, what do you even say? What do you even say?
When people say, what did you expect, Joe? This team doesn't have talent. What's your response to the people who now conveniently want to go with that after they were talking smack? We're going to kill Rodgers week 1. Oh, yeah, Glenn's going to change it, baby. We're going to win games because of coaching and discipline and all that horse crap, which to this point has been horse crap. What's your response to those people?
I think they're liars. That's what I think it is. I think you're moving the goalpost. I don't think anybody expected the defense or the team to be this bad. I think 95 out of 100 Jets fans, unless you're like a Fields truther, expected the defense to at least be near the top 10, at the minimum, top half of the league. And they were playing like legitimately the worst defense in the entire NFL. So it's inexcusable. You cannot move the goalpost and say, what did you expect? You're getting blown out in 4 of the 5 games and only getting worse every single week. So to say you expected this, I just straight up, you're a liar.
I mean, they are off to the worst start any coach that has started coaching the Jets has got off to. I don't think anyone predicted that. Kotite didn't start 0-5. Neither did Adam Gase. That's what we're talking about here. Lou Holtz. That's what we're talking about.
And those teams had less talent. Like we said, Adam Gase 2020 Jets won 7 games. They did not have the talent on this team. So that, again, it only multiplies the badness in terms of like they have Sauce, they have Stevens who they paid for, they had Cisco who they overpaid from the jump. They have all these guys. $15 million of Sherwood, Q, all these players, trading for Briggs, trading for Phillips, and this is the result. There's absolutely no way that one Jets fan in the world, unless you're the most negative fan on earth, one of them we were talking about pre-show, maybe him, we're expecting this on defense. There's just no way. You cannot excuse this play. It's literally embarrassing. And I've been the Jets have lost a lot, but this is embarrassing level of play. So yeah, you can't excuse it. There's no way.
Hexen with a super chat, watching the last show and now seeing this, I've heard enough. Time to get Robbie Sabo in the building. Would you be okay losing Sabo if it meant he could fix the Jets?
Yeah, the only problem is he does a lot of IT stuff, and I'm an absolute idiot with IT stuff, so we'd be kind of screwed as a website. Nani would have to do less articles and all the IT stuff. But yeah, if he could fix the Jets, again, I'm a fan before I'm anything. So if that fixes it and JetX burns and crashes, then give me some dubs. That's the end of the day. I can't keep watching this crap football.
It's unreal. Sam says, why not play the best 4 linemen and sit Clemens?
The problem is, Sam, the guys behind him may be even worse. You saw Barron miss that tackle. McGregor's done absolutely nothing. It's the position is dreadful, and it's part of the problem is they needed to recognize this in the offseason. Like, what are they watching with these guys in the offseason and not like kind of hitting the panic button? Like, dude, these guys suck. We have to bring in somebody else. So Barron and McGregor have only been worse. So there's really not much else you can do right now than like sign a free agent or trade for a guy or something like that, which they're not going to do.
Do you think Jermaine being back is a big deal, big difference for the defense? Like, what does he bring potentially?
Yeah, no doubt. He's a smart player and a good run stopper at the minimum. You know, he'll contain those edges. He'll pursue Dak. He won't get faked out by jet sweeps and end arounds and play action stuff. He'll stay home. Plays with ridiculous aggression. So JJ adds a lot to the run game, and even the pass game just in pursuit. He's smarter about how to play action and stuff. So even though he's not Will McDonald in terms of explosion, he'll at least be home where he's supposed to be. So JJ is a huge add to the defense, undoubtedly.
I hope it makes a big difference. What other changes, Joe, if you're Aaron Glenn this week, are you doing immediately?
Yeah, you have to get Tony Adams off the field. If Michael Carter, like I would move, like we talked about this maybe a week or two ago, I would move Michael Carter to safety and see if you can like salvage his season. And not only because of Michael Carter, I want another guy in Brownlee on the field versus the screen game and stuff. So you have to find a spot for Brownlee. I don't think you replace Stevens because he's a good tackler, and credit to him. First 2 weeks were terrible. The last 3 weeks, he's actually been fine. Like as a number 2 corner, he's been fine the last 3 weeks. So you keep him at 2. You keep Sauce at obviously number one, Brownlee in the slot, Michael Carter comes in at safety, and then when you run like big nickel, things like that, or some dime, like I would like to see Azaria Thomas at least not see full-time snaps because I don't know where you fit him, but I would like to see him at least get some snaps in a game. But getting Tony Adams off the field and potentially even Cisco at points is a necessity. They are dreadful at safety. So give me more physicality. I need Brownlee. I need Brownlee in the game.
Joe, thank you for your time. I'm sorry you got to watch this, but the only good thing I got for you is at least the game Sunday is at 9:30. So the pain should be done by 1, and then hopefully we can salvage the rest of the Sunday watching all the other games.
Are we at the point now where like the Jets games don't even piss us off and like we can enjoy 1:00 football, or does it ruin our day really early and then everything is just shittier for the rest of the day? Like,
yeah, that's a good point. I'm still gonna be pissed because like what I remember about the last time they were this bad, the 2020 year with Gase, we knew Gase was not the answer. He never should have been hired in the first place. With Glenn, he's in year 1. We think there's actually good football players on this team. I don't want Garrett Wilson to suffer a 2-win season and have to go through that, and Quinnen and so on and so forth. So it's still going to bother me because I really want this coach to turn it around. I do not want to have the one and done conversation, but you and I were talking about this. I'm sorry, if they win 2 games or 3 games, I don't want this regime overseeing a young quarterback that they're going to ruin. They're not equipped to handle that. They don't deserve the opportunity to do it. So I hope we don't have to have those conversations. I hope they win some games and show improvement.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Talking about, do we fire them? And then even if they keep them, okay, are they going to ruin this quarterback? Which most likely, if they look like they do at this point, they will. So yeah, those conversations are brutal. So yeah, you want to at least show fight and maybe win a freaking football game. Like there's upsets all over the NFL every week, but that Broncos defense versus Justin Fields, I see very little chance they win this game. So we'll most likely be talking about bad film again next week, but we need some dubs in our life. So I can't say go Yankees to you. I can't. I would just be a fraud if I said go Yankees. But whatever happiness other fans can find. I don't know. Hockey's coming soon. Maybe you're an Islanders fan or a Rangers fan or a Devils fan. Maybe we can win some hockey games. I don't know. But the Yankees, what's the score from 2 games? Like they've let up like 10+ runs in each game too, right? So they're not even close to competing in these games either. So New York sports is down very, very, very bad right now. So congratulations to the Knicks fans who are out there. I'm a Nets fan, so at least I have the NBA season to look forward to, because the Nets are going to absolutely murder teams with Igor Diomin as their number 1 pick. So here we go.
You and Connor Long, the 2 resident Net fans over at Jets X Factor.
Dude, it is so. The Nets have been a bit. Everything is bad. Everything is bad. Yep. I'm a Devils fan, I guess, but we've talked about them before too. Like they're a good regular season team. They make it to the playoffs and choke because they're so freaking. They have no physicality to them. So not much to look forward to, Jake. Hopefully the Jets start to play better because this has been a awful run.
Unbelievable, Joe. You're the man. JetsXFactor.com. And when can people check out your next stream?
Next stream, I think, should be Friday night, probably like 10 p.m. I do them late because of my work schedule. Film review should be out tomorrow of the good from the game, the bad from the game, all that stuff. JoeRB31 on Twitter, where I post, 20 to 40 plays each week of how bad this football team is. So follow me there if you want to basically pour bleach in your own eyes. So there we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Blewett. Joe, you're the man. Hang in there.
See you later, Jake.
Joe Blewett from Jets X Factor. Excellent film review. Hey, huge shout out to Shake and Bake, who won a Joe Namath helmet. I'm in the process of getting him, not a Joe Namath helmet. How about a Baker Mayfield helmet for our resident Bucks fan who still supports the show? Thank you, Shake and Bake. You're in our raffle coming up for 1. Appreciate that. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up the phone lines here. The line or the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline link is pinned in the chat. So load up your calls right now. There's only 1 person on hold. So I will get to all your calls before we wrap up the show. But first, I want to fill people in on what is happening with the beast himself, Mr. Jason Storm. He sent me a very, very long email that was incredibly incoherent. But Gator was nice enough to take the exact script from Beast and be able to turn it into a video so we all can understand. So without further ado, sit back and enjoy Beastbreaker's latest incoherent beast mail to me earlier today.
Jake, The farting master has to go. It was good for a while, but it has to go. This year was very tough for me. I got sent to the hole more times than Alon, but Alon is an asshole and a complete loser. All talk, no action, typical idiot. Christmas is coming, and I generally celebrate Christmas alone. It's because I have memories, but my goal is to get my daughter back and make her understand. I have achieved greatness, especially on your show. At first, no one knew me, but as time went on, I came up with many different ways to keep the drive alive. It's because I have a fireable desire to turn it up. My thing has been to dominate and show the world what I can do, and I've proven myself month after month. I've given my life to this Jets team, unlike what Charles has done. He sunk his ship, and I haven't. Since 1998, I haven't missed a Jets game. I've watched all of them, and it hurts me hard that I have to watch this team crumble because of the bad decisions and bad lying. It's like week after week, the nonsense never ends. Steve Wilkes needs to be fired and has to go. He's not fit for this job. He's a bum. I have studied football for almost 3 decades, and it's getting harder to figure out what's real and what's fake. These fake pushes from our boys, not so good. Not enough fight, not enough trying, just plain lazy and lacking in many departments in offense and defense, even special teams. This is beyond bad. To Muji and Aaron Glenn, give them my number. Give me a call. We're going to sit down and have a meeting. This New York Jets team needs a good kick in the ass. I got a few guys that can coach this team back up from the dead. I have experience when it comes to winning big matches, unlike what you guys are doing. Not so smart, very cheap and weak-minded. Any questions, you have 72 hours to get it down now. Team Storm. P.S. Move your asses on the double, jackasses.
That's a real email. If you don't believe me, here it is. That is what Gator just translated. All that. Another day in the life of doing this show. And very tough to explain this show to people that don't typically watch the show. Now you see why. Oregon writes in, AG must be fired before the end of the year. Maximize the tank. Get grown-ups in ASAP. If you're talking about maximizing the tank, why would you change the coach? Keep Glenn the year. The way they're playing, they're going to be picking you at the top of the draft. Let's see if he can coach his way out of this. Because if he can't, and this team is as bad as it's looking, then we got a real decision to make about the future of this team and who should be calling the shots in regards to taking a quarterback number 1 overall. Or if the Titans somehow stumble to the number 1 pick and the Jets are at 2, they're not going quarterback. So then the Jets will be the first team that has their pick. Gator says, by the way, I added punctuation. You're welcome. Thank you, Gator. All right. Let's get to your calls now, shall we? I'm having some issues, though, transitioning slide to slide. Stay with me, people. I might need to do a StreamYard reset. I do, because StreamYard's not working. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I could do this a different way here. Can I do it? Nope, not working. All right, hold on. I'm going to play something, come right back, and then we'll be able to get to the lane train who's first up today.
People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help.
Love it, dude.
You're talking about how people don't.
You can't say that people think you don't want a job and then say that you came off a real good nap. It's a hard 2 sentences to put together, Charles. It is. You got Jake off the camera.
How do you not see the irony of that, Charles? This is why Charles is the best of the best.
People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help.
Love it.
My fellow New York Jets fans, it is about time I come and tell you, consider the fact that the New York Jets continue to give us the same abominable product year in and year out. I'm officially boycotting this fucking franchise. I have chosen to adopt the Indianapolis Colts as my team this year because they're playing very good football. They're listening to their coach. They're not making stupid decisions. There are certain fans of mine that are calling me a traitor, but guess what? I don't care. I'm a grown-ass man. For anyone, including my friend Jake Asman, tough titties. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Disgusting what Charles Gorman pulled yesterday. And by the way, this is how he apparently resigned as a Jet fan. He did it on a napkin. He went full Belichick. That scoundrel. Unbelievable, folks. You can't make it up. Not only are the Jets 0-5, but we've lost Gorman, that fraud. All right, more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, let's intro him properly. It is time to say hello to the great, the amazing, the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Lane.
How are you?
I'm good, Lane. How are you?
I had a nice birthday. I had some cake and sushi last night.
So your birthday was yesterday, right? Because Saturday you called in and said you were practicing for your birthday.
Yeah. It was pretty good actually. Yeah, it was really great. On the other hand is well, we're playing in the morning and stuff on Sunday for the Jets. The thing was with Sorward, and then you also have McGregor. Is you start him over Justin Fields. I mean, what do you think that you start? Like, who do you start in the first half of the game?
I think I would start Conor McGregor at quarterback.
Or, yeah, I mean, like Adam, because, Adam Gates is good.
Gates is good? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but the news is, what do you do about Aaron Glenn? Do you keep him? Or, because I've been hearing that they do want to let him go. If you did let him go, who would you pick up as a coach?
I think I'd suggest you, Lane.
I can see that.
Any interest?
Probably. I'll have to get interviewed.
Here, I'll interview you, okay? I'm Woody Johnson. You're interviewing for the Jet head coaching job. All right? I'm going to ask you a question and you answer. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, Lane, we're looking for a head coach. Why do you think you could help turn our franchise around?
Because I think I could do better. I think we could end up winning games finally. Because now we're like 0-5 going into week 6. We just got to move the ball going in to Sunday because we're playing at 9:00 a.m. in London. Is there any other questions you want to ask me about? Why do you think I should get hired to coach?
The only question I think I have for you, Lane, is when can you start?
Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, send me all your AI photos. Coach Lane Train will save the Jets.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Thank you, Lane. Excellent job. You got the job. Put the game plan together. We will see you in foggy London town on Sunday. With that said, let's get to more of your calls. JJ is next. Hello, JJ.
Yo, rise and grind and shine. How you doing today, my friend Jake?
Yes, sir. Hello, JJ.
Real quick. So I want to start having conversations on who we're going to decide to be our next head coach because Aaron Glenn ain't it. And what I don't want to happen is, he ends up pulling out 4 wins at the end of the year. And then we do this whole, at least we have something to build on. Let's give him one more year to establish things. No, we clearly see that he ain't it. And let's take a page out of the Patriots books. Let's take a page out of the Texans books. You know the Texans pretty well, right? Like, we don't have to give him another year. We don't owe him anything, right? Like, He got paid to do a job. He came here and he did. He hasn't done a good job, and he really hasn't given us anything to build hope upon, especially because he kept talking all over the offseason about how we're going to be a better disciplined team. We're going to be able to make tackles. We're going to be able to actually just not cause self-inflicted wounds and have stupid penalties time after time. And none of that stuff has happened. And it doesn't take 5, 6, 7, 8 games to figure out your identity, right? I haven't seen anything consistent about this team at all. I do like the offensive coordinator. My problem with him is he gets away from the run like way too early. Like Brees will break it for a big run, and then he doesn't touch the ball for like 4, 5, 6 other plays. So, I mean, we can definitely run the ball this year, but we just get away from it too much. And on top of that, when we are running the ball effectively, then everyone's fumbling all over the field. And if week after week after week, people are fumbling the football and nothing is changing, then what are we doing during practice for ball security? You can blame the head coach for everyone on the team fumbling, because that means we're not doing anything to make sure these guys have better ball security. If it was a one-off with Gibson, I would get it. But we've seen Gibson fumble, we've seen Breland Allen fumble, we've seen Brees fumble, we're seeing everybody. We've seen Justin Fields fumble. All of our star players are fumbling. So that tells you there's something wrong with the way these guys are being coached up. There's something wrong with it. Because if it's a consistent problem, then that's the identity. Our identity is a penalized, can't make tackles. We blow coverage, and we just suck. We just suck. We're 0-5. So here's what I think. Right, there's gonna be a long list of head coaches that are established NFL head coaches that are probably gonna get fired this year. Harbaugh might be one. Tomlin might be one, depending on how they finish there. You still have Mike McCarthy that's out there. There's a whole bunch of, NFL vet head coaches that we should be thinking about this coming off season. I think we had a chance to get Mike McCarthy way back when, and we didn't. We went with Adam Gase instead. I wanted Mike McCarthy back then. I want Mike McCarthy last year. I want him now. There's nothing wrong with winning 12 games every year and getting to the playoffs. I know we want to win a Super Bowl, but can we at least get to the playoffs? I mean, as Jets fans, wouldn't we sign up for 11, 12 wins every year?
Well, good call, JJ. Your connection crapped out at the end there. I don't think we can entertain this conversation yet. Like, actually start talking about candidates. Because even if they do win a couple games late, and that does save Glenn, right? Like, even if that happens, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree with the move. I got to see what it looks like. Are there actual improvements, or are they just beating teams that aren't playing anyone down the stretch? Like, they play the Bills the last week of the year. I know it's the last game in their old shitty dump of a stadium, and I've been there, so I have no problem saying that. But, like, they're not going to play their starters if they have the 1 seed locked up, which I imagine they will. So the Jets win that game, like, if that's their third win, do I feel good about Aaron Glenn at that point? If they finished 3-14? No. I got to see what it looks like. I got to see real improvement. The defense has got to get better. The mistakes got to stop happening, right? The penalties, turnovers. We'll see. If it doesn't get better, I agree. I would not let Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji pick this quarterback, and I'd start over. And those saying, oh, how could you do it? Arizona did it with Steve Wilkes. Houston did it with 2 coaches in a row. David Culley and Lovie Smith. I was there. I talked about it every day on ESPN Houston. Then they hired D'Amico and paired him up with C.J. Stroud. New England just did it with Gerard Mayo. Sorry. Love Aaron Glenn as a Jet. It'd be unfortunate if that happens. Gerard Mayo just went through the same thing. You think the Patriots regret hiring Mike Vrabel? If it's that bad, I think you got to seriously consider it. Now, will Woody fire a coach he's owing money to? Now, the thing I would say is Woody's got a lot of money, and salary cap does not count, or the coaching salaries and GM salaries don't count against your salary cap. They don't. And if Woody wants to be cheap about it, you could sell a part of the team and get an influx of cash immediately, like we've seen other teams around the league do. The Giants are about to sell a piece of their team to get a huge influx of cash for the Maras and the Tishes, and there's your money to invest in a real coach. Make John Harbaugh the highest paid coach in NFL history to come resurrect your franchise. or Mike Tomlin if the Steelers actually would move on, which they won't. So, yeah, I mean, it's a real conversation. I don't want to have it, but I'm sorry. The Jets are not just bad. They are historically bad so far. They're the only team in the league without a win. You know how bad you have to be this bad where every other team in the league has a win but you? You don't see teams separate themselves in the draft order this quickly. We're 5 games in. Their defense is inept. They're not bereft of talent either. I know what that looks like. The 2020 Jets were. And Gase never should have been hired in the first place, so I didn't care that he kind of got an unfair shake with that roster. It was a bad hire from the beginning. They got conned by Peyton Manning. And Adam Gase is coaching football to where football is going, according to Christopher Johnson. They don't. The Jets have done this to themselves because they've been bad for so long. Like if the Jets were coming off a really good run and now they've just been bad, maybe fans would be a little more patient with Glenn. Hey, he's got to rebuild the roster. He's got to get his guys. It takes more time. We've seen this too many times, man. If Aaron Glenn wasn't a former Jet, he wouldn't be getting this grace period that some are still giving him. He wouldn't. And I want him to succeed. I don't know how many times I could say that. He gets the entire year. Would he stay out of the way? Don't make him fire Wilkes. Don't make him do anything. He gets the year. But if it doesn't get better, it is not an unfair conversation to have. The first 5 weeks are flat out unacceptable from what we have seen. If you said 0-5 before the season, you would have been labeled as negative. You're a hater. Now that it's reality, some fans want to pretend like this is fine. That's insane. Do not justify this horseshit play. Excuse my language. Do not justify this. We deserve better as fans. The bar was low. They can't even do that. They are 3-16 since they started 2-1 last year. 5 weeks into this year, they have played 1 complete game. They lost, by the way. Moral victory, my ass. Been blown off the field twice. They've been dominated in 3 of the 4 quarters of the other 2 games. They had 4 sacks week 1. They have 2 since. They have not forced a turnover all year on defense. All year. So until the wins happen, sorry if you don't like hearing about the Kotai comparisons or Gase or do we have to Gerard Mayo, Aaron Glenn? That's where we're at. We understand the talent is not great, right? This is not a Super Bowl roster. But we should expect more than this. I'm sorry. This is bullshit. Cheeseman in the raffle for 2 says, imagine the gift of Lane answering questions from the media as the head coach of the Jets. Gator, we might need to do a press conference with Lane. Oh, my God. Rex Ryan checks in. He says, free Mark Sanchez. Well, I don't know about that one. That is going to be in the hands of our justice system at this point. What a horrific story.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Chris says, 2 years as a member, and I still have no idea what we are doing. Thank you, Jake, for the great show. Chris, thank you. Thanks to everyone who watches. I got a CJ Mosley autographed jersey here I'm going to give away to someone at the end of the show. If you want it, enter the raffle. Keeps the show afloat and gives you a chance to win some prizes. All right, more of your calls. Our favorite chef is on the line. Chef Kevin, what's up, Mr. Gilbert?
Hey, Jake, man. Pleasure, man. Thanks for taking my call, man. Always appreciate you having me on your platform. Busy day today. You know, normally I'm off today. And, you know, you saw earlier I was over at the Cloverleaf Tavern, man. Just, you know, it's National Taco Day. So, you know, we had to make sure, you know, Taco Tuesday was a little bit more enhanced. Had to make sure the prices were dropped to help drive in traffic and all that stuff, man. So, you know, pretty busy. I salute you, man. I know you hustling and all that. I hear that negative talk, man, which I don't really think is negative. You just being real, man. I mean, like, for the people that have been watching, you said, hey, 4 wins before, and then you moved up to 6. Like, hey, and still didn't get no slack. For me, I've been stuck on 6 wins, and I was called negative. I was called negative for saying, hey, we're going to start the first 3 games 0-3, but then we'll win the next 2. I mean, you know, figure that, man. If we were 2-3 right now, most of us would be pretty happy.
100%.
All right, but you know, man, I don't think any of that stuff, you know, that slander on you is warranted. I mean, you're just speaking facts, man. You know, and the tape doesn't lie. At the end of the day, I was over there at that game, man, for Boy Green stuff, and you know what we saw was good football, but it wasn't from the Jets, man. It was the Cowboys. They executed everything. They dominated across the field. I mean, for us, the tape doesn't lie, man. We just were showing half-ass effort. It almost feels like we're purposely tanking, man. Like, what are the coaching staff seeing with Clemens, where it's just like, you know what, we're just gonna keep him out there. Like, for me, it doesn't make any sense other than the fact of like, hey, yo, you know what? Let's tank. Let's keep the guy that gives us the worst chance to be successful. A guy that won't tackle, won't stay outside, won't force stuff in. Outside containment. F everything else, man. Just force everything in. Stay on the outside. Stop keeping on getting suckered in to play action, dude. Like, you're trying to do what Isaiah Williams was saying weeks ago about, hey, I'm just trying to make a play. Nah, stop worrying about trying to make a play. How about doing your job? That's it. You're getting paid to do a job. And that's all we need, man. Like, the offense, it's what it is, man. I was nervous when I saw Max Mitchell out there. I'm like, oh, we're going to get killed. And what happened, man? They're just keeping on going in the backfield over and over and over. It's just the offense ain't even really working. Brees, hey, he did all right. But then it's like Garrett, he's by himself. He has nothing to do. And when he's open, what happens? Fields is missing him. We need a quarterback that can hit our receivers, man. Not only that, we need other receivers. If we just completely just bomb the season, I honestly have no faith in this regime that they will get the picks, the free agency right. I really don't, because of what they show me, man, with the Stevens evaluation. What did they show me? It doesn't make no sense. All right, they made a couple of trades, but it's still not producing into any wins, man. Like, I said this before, man. I'm thankful that I'm not a season ticket holder anymore. I feel bad for JJ, man. Last week he was talking about, all right, hey, I made a mistake. Yo, JJ, I salute you, man. I salute you for owning up and be like, you know what? I made a mistake. I really thought that this was it, and it's not. Like, and he's doing that. But at the end of the day, he's a Jet fan, man. He's a Jet fan, and he wants to see wins. He's paying a lot of money to see Jet wins, and it's not happening, man. And what? All right, Glenn, he used to be a Jet. We drafted him. So, yeah, all right, we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But why? What are we seeing? Where's the effort? Where's the coaching? The coaching on this stuff. Tackling. He said in a couple press conferences before, yeah. Nah, we're not going to do tackling in practice anymore. What? You're not going to teach practice? You're not going to do tackling in practice? Dude, my son was pissed that we were at the Jet game, seeing what we were seeing, and he missed his own game, his own football game. We were 4-0 going to the game, and guess what happened? We lost. We lost 12-14. We lost a damn game. And guess what? We the first people here at practice on the field. Hold on. Let me get you a hold on real quick. My son is right here. Stay there.
Yeah.
He's right here on the field. This is where no one else here.
Tell him to get to London. He could be better than Clemens immediately. Put him out there. Same number,
Dude,
too.
Show them how we tackle, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you how to tackle.
Hard, man. Come on, let's go. Set, go. Come on. That's how you tackle.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let's go.
Dude. Simple. Head up, getting low, and wrapping. That's it. But we out here doing the tackle. You got to. He wasn't even at the game, but guess what? We lost the game. I spoke to the coaches. Yeah, we need to tackle better, man. That's it. Practice, practice, practice. It doesn't matter. Hey, we had a good week in practice. Guess what? We didn't see a damn thing on the field. We didn't see no improvements. What's going on in these practices?
Let me tell you, could you imagine how much worse it would have been for you and your son if they didn't practice this past week, Chef Kev? I mean, what a performance.
Yeah, Jake, man, I'm losing my
I can't do it anymore, man. Like I
please,
used to be overly positive. They have beaten me down, and I want to be positive. I don't want to see Aaron Glenn fail. I feel for him, but he has to be better. This team has to be better. They're embarrassing him. If he can't figure it out, that's on him. But right now, they're making him look like a fool, and it's a shame because I like him personally, and I want him to do well. But this is for people like you and everyone who goes to these games and everyone who watches and the people around the world that still follow this team, even though they've sucked for far too long. We all deserve better. We didn't expect much, but this is just flat out unacceptable. It's enough.
Agreed, man. Yo, dude, in the fourth quarter, it's 30-3. What's going on? Dude, my son is crying like he heard the news that we lost. We're seeing all stuff. He's like, I want to leave. And BG already told me, like, yeah, we're going to go onto the field. So I'm like, yo, chill, wait out. Like, let's wait till the end of the game. I know this is torture. I know it feels like we're forced to sit here and watch this stuff. Like, I know it hurts, but we just gotta stay. He's like, I can't. So I sent him home with my wife. I'm like, I had to sit through this, man. Salute to BG, man. Like, and Woody, like, yo, it was a great time. But then at the game, the first quarter, halfway through, dude, it was electric. I was yelling and screaming when we were getting first downs. It's not even a touchdown, and I'm losing my mind. I'm starving to cheer for anything, Jake. Anything. I'm going crazy over first downs, man. It's insane. Like, why can't we score a touchdown in the first quarter, first possession? Something. You can't tell me, yeah, Fields, yeah, he could run, he could do all this and that. Yo, the touchdowns that he's getting, it ain't no design runs. The stuff is breaking down and he's scrambling. Yeah, he's athletic. Why don't we do some design runs for him? Do more stuff with Brees. Y'all seen it, man. Y'all seen it. Create space. I saw Nate at the game too. Create space. They were hitting Brees and he was getting open. I don't understand, man. And the defense is not helping out the offense at all. They're not putting us in great field position. Nope. It's a whole team effort and special teams. What are we doing, man? The punt return team, kick return team. Yo, how does it get worse than Gibson? It's gotten worse, dude. I can't explain this. It's only us. And there's nothing, dude. There's nothing that's making me feel good that this is going to get better.
No.
How? It's literally getting worse. And the best part about this game Sunday, I'm preparing for pumpkin brunch. I'm not even going to be able to watch the game. Jeez, man, this is hurtful, man. Like, I don't get it. But Jake, man, I thank you. I know before you had a run. I appreciate you for giving me a little bit of time in on your platform. Thanks again for everything that you do. Your shows are always incredible, man. Salute to all the Asmaniacs and yourself, brother. Be safe,
Chef
man.
Kev, great call, man. Great call.
The practices have been damn good. They are, but
Unreal. He's right. Everything Chef Kev is spot on. It's a joke. This is unacceptable. We do have some breaking Asmaniac news we got to cover, though.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Fact check on JJ's call earlier in the show. On December 5th, 2024, in the middle of our coaching search, JJ called in and outlined his list of top coaches he felt the Jets should hire. First tier, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. Second tier, Deion Sanders, Ryan Day, Todd Monken. Mike McCarthy was not named today, which he claimed he wanted all along. Link below. Call starts at the 15-minute mark. Ladies and gentlemen, I will post a link in the chat for proof, but Boomtown is keeping receipts. Our resident Asmaniac statistician and historian has done it again. Ladies and gentlemen, calling in to respond and defend his credibility is JJ. Hello, JJ.
So what was the date of that call?
According to Boomtown's research, it was December 5th, 2024.
So was Mike McCarthy still the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys at that time?
Wait a second. JJ's got a great point. Mike McCarthy was still employed by the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, cool. So the funny thing about Boomtown, I don't have a problem with him though, but he wants to pull up old receipts, right? So I mentioned Ryan Day. So why don't we go back and play what you guys had to say about Ryan Day at that point when you guys were ripping Ryan Day apart because, oh, he can't beat Michigan. We don't want him, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on to win the college football championship. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You guys can pull up old tweets, old things that I've said. Yeah, sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. But when we're pulling up receipts to try to make people look bad about their old opinions from 10 months ago, and Mike McCarthy wasn't even available at the time, so I didn't mention him. You can go. Why don't you find when I did mention him? Why don't you find how about you go back and find when I said to Jake we should try to get Jim Harbaugh out of Michigan, and Jake told me Jim Harbaugh isn't leaving Michigan 2 years ago.
JJ, you make some salient points here. That is a tremendous response to Boomtown. He says he's going to continue to check receipts. Be patient.
Yeah, continue to check receipts because I say a lot of things. I'm a very opinionated person. I just rumble. I just go. I don't really put too much thought. And at the time, when I was naming off those head coaching candidates, I probably said I wanted Deion Sanders too. And look, Deion Sanders doesn't look too good at Colorado, so I would have been wrong for that. Do you think I care? No, because at the end of the day, I'm not an NFL GM. I'm a guy who calls into a radio show with an opinion, and sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right.
I think Boomtown has it out for you. He says, was it similar when you said on Nick Shine's show that you, quote, never wanted Aaron Glenn as the coach?
Yeah, I said on Nick Shine's show I never wanted Aaron Glenn as a coach. Then he showed me that I did say that, and I said, oh, okay, you're right. So I was wrong. Your point? Do I care? Jake, the point that I'm trying to make is you come on this show, right, and you say things that are wrong sometimes, right? And no one pulls up your old receipts and says, "Oh no, Jake, you remember?"
No,
that's
not true. That's not true. People.
I haven't seen it. I
get it all the time.
And you know it's crazy when we do try to call you out on things or whatever, we get the you were right award. You know that little meme that you play with the I was right about that thing I said 10 months ago that I argued with Jake about, whatever. You make fun of us when we try to prove you wrong about something you said. The reason I'm annoyed.
That was just you when you were bringing up the Salah thing, that you were the first one out on Salah before anyone else.
Yeah, but that's why I get annoyed, because when I do say things that I'm correct about things, no one cares. We're like, all right, so what? You were right about that thing you said 10 months ago, JJ. But then anytime Boomtown now gets an opportunity, it seems like, to try to prove somebody wrong, I don't get it. No, I won't quit crying. I get to cry. I get to be emotional, because at the end of the day, I'm the one who's flying to I almost cursed. Sorry. Hey. I'm the one who's flying to London.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Like I was saying, I'm the one who's flying to go to London to go see this stupid team perform and wasting money on tickets and flights and hotel. I'm the one who year after year pays money for my season tickets, right? So I don't care if I'm wrong about what I say. I get to say whatever the hell I want, because I actually support this team, unlike some of these people in this chat who probably haven't been to a Jets game in 15 years. But as soon as we start winning, once we start winning, you guys will show up. But you guys don't root for this team when they're down in the third quarter. You guys just talk crap online. At least I'm still out there rooting for this team week after week. You guys have a lot of nerve to talk about JJ. I'm actually a real Jets fan, unlike some of you guys in this chat. You guys are just waiting for the day for the Jets to get good to then start supporting the team. I support them whether they're good or bad, to my detriment, to the detriment of my financial status. So when I'm in London rooting on my team, even though they're 0-5, I don't want to hear crap from nobody. All right, because once we lose that game, if we lose that game, guess what? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to say a whole bunch of stupid stuff that you guys can look up 10 months from now and be like, oh, you were wrong about that thing you said 10 months ago, you idiots. And that's how I feel about that.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for JJ.
For those of you who didn't know, a few months back, I had announced my retirement from the Big Asman Show. But after today's victory, I have a huge announcement to make. The fans have spoken. I'm coming out of retirement.
The great
I'm back. Big fella, I'll see you in the next round. May the best man win.
He's back! Remember when JJ retired from the show and Asmaniac Madness last March brought him back? Now he's a menace. All right, hit the like button. JJ says MVP level call right there. Chef, preach. That was in response to the chef. Kevin call. Matt L in the raffle for 2 says we don't even have any trade bait. Brees, Quincy. That's about it. They don't have much. I don't think they're going to trade Quinnen. You're not moving Sauce. Dead cap hit would be enormous, nor would that be smart. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to have this big fire sale. That's what people think. I don't think that's happening. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Petey is up next. Hello, Petey.
Jake, you got me?
Oh, I got you, Petey.
All right. Speaking of receipts, don't we miss Robert Saleh's receipts, Jake?
I would gladly take some of those receipts right now. At least the defense wouldn't be this bad.
Yeah, Jake, thanks for having me. Jake, I've left twice this year before the fourth quarter. I haven't done that in 30 years. It's wild. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm fed up. I've missed 3 games since 1998 at home. It's sickening, but Jake, my point about Glenn, I think if the Jets move on from him because of all the recommendations with Sean Payton, and I get what you're saying, but for him to eat $12 million a year and then I don't think Woody's going to want to pay $30-something million a year for a coach. I just don't. And I think the
mean,
Jets.
he doesn't count against your cap. He's got money.
No, I know that. But Jake, I just think the Jets are already the laughing stock. Gerard Mayo got away. The Patriots got away with Mayo because they're the Patriots and they won 6 championships in 20 years. I don't think they would have got away with it that easily if that wasn't the case. So,
but what does get away with it mean, right? Like if they fired Aaron Glenn and they hired someone that actually came in and did a good job, who cares? Like remember Liam Cohen got mocked for his presser? How's that looking as he's 4-1 right now with back-to-back wins over the Niners and the Chiefs? All of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence, who was 2-8 last year, looks like he could play again. Like coaching matters, man. And if Aaron Glenn and this team is as bad as it looks like they're going to be right now, and that could change, because once again, the best thing I could say for AG is that he's got 12 games left to show that what he's doing can actually have an impact and get this team spearheaded in the right direction. I can't allow this regime to oversee taking whatever quarterback they're going to take number 1 overall. We're the Bears. We're keeping Eberflus an extra year. For what reason? Well, let's start fresh with a brand new quarterback.
Last take, Jake. The Jaguars have 14 takeaways. The Jets have 0 in 5 games. 14 takeaways. Could you imagine if we even had 2? Jake, it's hard to do this every day, man. I don't know. I do it. You do it. It's just I'm out of energy, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Petey, appreciate the call, man. Great passion. It's tough. I don't know what to tell you. It is real tough. All right, more of your calls right now. I Like Jets is on the line. Hello, I Like Jets.
How's it going, brother? I want to talk about a bright spot in the Jets, which is Armand Membao. He's rating out as one of the highest PFF tackles guards this season. Why is it that we don't run on third and go for it on fourth with such a high-rated tackle?
They should do it more. I agree. Membu's been really good. He's definitely been a bright spot. He had a bad game Sunday, but he's been excellent the first 4 weeks. I like him a lot. We're kind of scratching for real positives, though, beyond him. Mason Taylor's been good. Garrett Wilson. Brees, besides the fumbles, which is a huge problem last week, he's been good in a lot of the games. It's tough. I think they should run more to his side, though. And I think Glenn punted on 4th and 5 at like the Cowboys 45-yard line. And I just thought that was silly. Like, go for it. You're playing the Cowboys, you need to score points. I think he needs to be more aggressive in those situations.
Yeah. Additionally, what do you think about like the decision making? I know we took Olo Fashano over Brock Bowers and then decided to take Mason Taylor the very next year. Do you think it was bright to take Fashano over Bowers, knowing what we know now?
Couple things. 1, go Yankees, because it looks like you're on your way to the game. I Like Jets. Excellent call. 2, I think while Bowers is obviously awesome, I have no issue with going Olu Fashanu. I think he's going to be their long-term left tackle, and I think Mason Taylor's proven to be a pretty solid tight end. So I think if the Jets could do it over, I don't know if they would do it over. And you got to remember where the Jets were at when they made the Olu pick. They had Rodgers coming back from injury. It was an all-in year. They had Tyron Smith as their left tackle, and they had Morgan Moses as their right tackle. They needed some legitimate tackle depth and insurance. But, man, it's been so long since somebody asked me about Brock Bowers. I don't even know if I have did somebody say Brock Bowers clip handy? I don't know if I have it handy. We haven't had to use that one in a long time. I don't have that handy, but I do have this. Let's see. I'm looking to see if I have it anywhere. We haven't done the Brock Bowers debate in a long time. That was a staple on this show for months. I don't have that from Gary. I do have this.
I'm not going to do the clapping seal part.
What do you mean?
I do want to, but I'm not going to do it because Gator's going to use it out of context and then it's going to go viral and then I'm going to have to look at it forever.
Long time ago. Wow. All right, more of your calls here. Good call from I Like Jets. Luppy's next. Hello, Luppy.
Jake, why do you always play something hysterical before you throw me on? You always throw me off. I missed that. Where is he? Where's Gary these days? Who knows? JJ makes a lot of great points. He does. I know you got to get on him because that gets a little fire going in him. We love that about him. I really would have liked to have his Fields take would have been, come to fruition. That would have been nice this year. The fact he holds onto the ball is crazy, and it's just. he's padding his stats in the fourth quarter. It seems like so. We really don't have too much going for us right now.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Found
Yeah,
it. All right, there we go.
All right, what was I? So anyway, Lane Train probably couldn't do any worse, right? We haven't gotten a win, so if Lane was the coach, I mean, it'd be more entertaining.
There it is.
Hold on, there it is. Yeah,
Coach Lane Train, baby, saving the Jets.
Kind of looks like Cho in that picture.
It kind of does.
Jesus. Yeah, we got nothing good. We got a few players out there, and they even seem to be slowing down on their pursuits. They seem to be quitting a little bit. Not good. Woody doesn't like to lose in London. I think maybe after London, if we really look embarrassed on defense, I think Wilkes might be going. That's the time they might pull the trigger on him because he's going to go before Aaron Glenn. I was talking about that, right? That Wilkes should go before Glenn.
I mean, he fired Salah last year, so if he wants to fire someone if they lose in London this year, why not?
Yeah, that's the Woody thing. So he's probably got all his buddies down there that he can't get embarrassed again, with. So that's probably something to look at. If this keeps up, Jake, I might change my paper bag to a plastic bag. You know what I'm saying? This is getting a little bad. It's not good. Blewett showing up there. He's such a great analyst, and how he breaks it down. I just hope there's one win this year that he gets to break down of the good things that we do. He could have been breaking it down all day today. Right? It's just it's from scheming to coaching to effort. It's there's really nothing left to grasp onto. The hope is pretty much out the building now too, unless they do something miraculous like maybe change their coffee to decaf over there in the Denver locker room so that they're not awake when we get them 9:30 in the morning. But I can't see them even coming close to a win this week. I hate to say it. I'm a fan. Been a fan for my entire life, which is a long time. I had season tickets like everybody else for the longest time. But I'm still going to be there. Still be watching them. I'll still be cheering for them. That's all we can do as fans. That's what we do. And hopefully there'll be some sort of corner that we hit that we can say, hey, we can put a hanger hat on this and then start to build towards the end of the season. Because if it continues this way, Jake, it is a new regime. It's actually the fear that we all had, Jake, was a first-time head coach again. So we knew that's not what we needed. We needed to turn these players around. They've been on the team for a while.
Yep.
It's not like you brought a bunch of rookies in with you when you were a first-time head coach and let's go. There's a lack of leadership on both sides of the ball. Nobody's taking any kind of accountability as far as players go. You figure they would have a players meeting by now or something, but there is no leadership. You don't see it, and they seem a little lost.
Well said. Luppy, hang in there.
I am. I'll be here.
Oh, my bad, everybody.
See, Luppy, I played a funny video after you're off the line, too, just for you. All right. More of your calls. Speaking of first-time head coaches, we take you back to December of this past year.
And I'll tell you right now, if you bring in a first-time coordinator, you can write it down. He'll be walking out the door again in 3 years.
Couldn't agree more. This job, no matter who they hire, is not a job for first-timers. You have to bring in someone that has already been successful in the league. Boomtown's not the only one that keeps receipts. And I'm hoping it works out for Glenn, but this was my fear. First-time coach who appears like he's in over his head so far. I hope it changes. I really do. I'm not saying it can't change, but the only positive thing I can point to is that he has more time to change it. Stuff. Lou says, Jake Asman's a Glenn truther now. I don't know who's saying that. I probably have been one of the loudest critical voices of this coaching staff so far in front office. I'm done losing, dude. I really am. It's unacceptable. The bar was low, and they can't even clear that. Enough. I actually just – so I muted my notifications because I get so much hate on Twitter these days. I can't do it anymore. But I woke up this morning, and I saw this tweet from the Jets at 8 a.m. Just touchdown in London town. And I quote tweeted, I go, stay there till you win a game. And this tweet has more likes and interactions than the Jets' actual tweet. So the Jets probably don't love me. This tweet has 301,000 views, 10,000 likes, and 304 retweets. The Jets tweet of this only has 200 retweets and only has 2,000 likes. So sorry to the Jets social team. I couldn't help myself. I'm so pissed. I want to win. Mr. Bonesy in the house. He writes in, Glenn claimed over the summer that he didn't know what defense we would run until he learned what the players are good at and play to their strengths. This defense looks like none of that. It's awful. And it's not like they've tried many things different with the personnel or some of the schematic stuff. If you talk to the film people like Sabo, and we just had Blewett on, Dylan could tell you all about it. Speaking of Dylan, he goes, when we are this bad, it is nearly impossible to evaluate any part of the team, and that is what makes it rock bottom. I got news for you. I don't know if we hit rock bottom, though. Like, if they lose to Denver, I don't know if that's rock bottom. I think if they lose at home to the Panthers, that could be rock bottom. If you can't beat them, who are you beating? It's bad, man. Big fella checks in, says, JJ, no one's questioning your Jets fanhood. We know you support the team. We all get stuff wrong. Don't let it bother you. Boom's doing a great job. Whoever wants to win this, make sure you enter. We're approaching the 2-hour mark of the show. If you're on hold, I promise I will get to your call, and then we will wrap things up and raffle away a signed CJ Mosley jersey to one lucky Asmaniac. Ladies and gentlemen, Pork of the Morning is next. Hello, Pork.
Hey, Jake. Like a lot of people said, we lack a lot of veteran leadership. We do not have any, as it seems, or any winning veteran leadership. Do we have any guys that were even on a winning team except for a few? Right? I mean, it's just pitiful, actually, and it could get a lot worse. Like you said, if we lose to the Panthers, that will be terrible. But it just seems like things are getting worse week to week. Like, we're tackling worse, we're blocking worse. Everything's getting worse. It's not getting better. So that's where the concern is. And it's a huge concern because you would think at some point you're going to get better at some of these things. Sauce is getting worse. He's getting beat all over the field. We constantly get beat on these crossing routes. They constantly are able to get guys out in the space in the screens or whatever they're doing, and they get 6-7 yards each time, if not a first down. And it just looks like we don't want to play football. That's just my observation. I don't know if anybody else sees that, but they just don't. They look very lackluster, very, very woman-like playing football. I don't know. I'm not taking a shot at anybody for that, but they don't look like a football team that wants to win or has any type of ball, right?
What does your shirt say, Pork?
It says smoke pot, eat twats, and smile a lot.
Okay.
Right? I mean, if you're doing those things, you'll be smiling. People will be smiling. I don't know. Somebody will be smiling. But you see what I'm saying? These guys, they don't play like they have any passion. Like it's gone. Like any type of football they once wanted to play is gone out of them. And I don't know if that's the coach or them or a combination of the two, but the combination of the two makes them suck, right?
I'll tell you what, as bad as they are, I can promise you this, at least the practices are pretty good.
The practices have been damn good. They are, but...
Thank you, Pork. Great call. Let's say hello to the Chuck Wagon who's next. Hello, Chuck.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, Chuck?
Not much. Just made myself dinner.
What are we having? What is that? Looks great.
I had a grilled chicken with peppers, white rice, and then I put some Mexican cheese on top.
Tremendous.
Yeah. So I just made that after I went to work and worked out. So Chef Kevin's son is going to be a baller. I'm sure he's going to get a scholarship to college and probably go professional. Kept his hip square. It looked good. So for him, keep it up. One question for you. Have you ever been overseas to any of the Jets games that went to London?
I went last year for the first time.
Okay.
I've never even been to Europe. That was my first time anywhere in Europe. I went to London for 5 days last year.
If other than London, if you could go anywhere that the NFL was going to go and play overseas, where would you like the Jets to go?
Australia, so I could hang out with Craig.
I would
Right,
say
Craig?
Japan.
Mate, I can't believe it took this long to even say that. Hey,
Easy answer.
Chuckwagon. Nice to meet you,
Australia.
mate. How are you?
Craig, do you know how long of a flight would be from New York to Australia?
I have some idea. I've probably done it about 8 times now, so it's about 25 to 30 hours, depending on your connections. It's
Wow.
how would I describe it? I'm going to say total and complete horror. Yeah, that would cover it. Yeah, basically, it is the
Do you
nastiest thing you'll do.
are you in coach? Are you in coach, or do you try to go like first class?
Yeah, like 95% of the time, Mrs. Craig and I have done this. We have been in coach, and we've done it this way here because we brought all the kids this time, you see. And actually, on the topic of the kids, I've got a question for you, Jake. So this afternoon, my 4 teenagers from between 15 and 19 years old zip lined up the side and hung off the edge of a 100-story building. Now, help me understand, like just a couple hours ago, help me understand why the Jets can't friggin' win a game. Like, my kids can do that. Why can't they do this for us? Like, I mean, what else do I have to do at this point?
I mean, the fact that you came all the way from Australia and the game that you got was that on Sunday, Craig, I feel so bad. I really do.
Look,
I'm just terrible.
okay, no, don't feel bad because my kids, they were off their faces. They were so happy to be at an NFL game. We don't have anything like it in Australia at all. They were wrapped. We went to the tailgate and met Chef Kevin. What a friggin' legend. I met Devon and his wife and family. It was just nothing but end-to-end awesome people. We went there with Nate and Lee Van and Mike Rubino and Nate's partner and Mrs. Craig and everybody. So it wasn't all bad. It could have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually how it goes. The tailgate and the whole experience before the game always better than the actual game. Unfortunately, at least you were at the home opener last year and you saw what it could look like at its best.
It's all downhill since there. But
yeah, I bring it up this week too because think about it, right? Since that game, right? They beat the Pats. They were 2-1. They played Denver, who's now the Jets' opponent again this week, 6th year in a row. The Jets, I mean, the Broncos are basically in the AFC East. It feels like they play them every year. They're 3-16 since that 2-1 start at that game you and I were at last year.
You can try as much as you want. You cannot make this shit up. You can think of the craziest story ever, and they will outdo us. Every and there's no answer at this point. That's what it feels like. It's like we could go 0-17 or 1-16 and get the first pick. We'll fuck that up, or we can win a few games at the end and not get in the top 3 pick. Like it's all possible. So I don't want to be too negative, but at least we have Gary as a walrus. We have that, or a seal, or whatever it was in that video. Hey, also, if you're really dying and you need a distraction, get some of this into you, mate.
Oh,
that's all you got to do. All your problems will seem insignificant. Get a big, thick spread of that on your toast.
Oh my goodness, the Vegemite will actually kill you. Craig is not wrong.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. If the Jets don't, the Vegemite will. But mate, we're flying home tomorrow, and we are in just moving into a period of mourning. So hopefully, I've got a conference in April, May next year in Washington. So hopefully, I'll get to that one because that is a short train ride to come back and catch up with you all.
Can't wait. Craig, safe travels. You're the best.
Love you all.
So there's your answer to your question, Chuckwagon. Australia. I want to hang out with Craig.
That would be really cool. That's one long flight, though.
Yes.
At least 25 hours.
I've always
was
wanted
thinking,
to go, and this would be a legit reason to go. And for me, who makes my living talking about this team, that is one big tax write-off. So 100%.
Lucky you. I was thinking I would like to go to Japan. That would be a place I would definitely travel if the Jets ever played there.
That'd be awesome, too. They did play a preseason game in Tokyo in 2003.
Yes. But I wouldn't go for a preseason. It would have to at least be a regular season game.
Yeah, I totally agree.
One prediction I was thinking, because I know you and everybody else is saying fire Wilkes and all that. My prediction is if the first coach gets fired before the end of the season, it's going to be either the defensive backs coach or the defensive lineman coach. I just don't see them automatically firing Wilkes. I'm saying he could be fired before the end of the season, but I just feel like they're going to go start from the bottom and then work their way up if they decide to send a message to the team.
Well, I mean, I think with Wilkes, I don't know if he needs to be fired, but I think Glenn needs to be more involved in the defense. If you're gonna fire him, like I don't know if you do it after this London game. I think you look at the schedule coming up. You know, there are some games here that appear to be winnable. And I think he's probably going to get through the bye, realistically. Like, I don't think Glenn wants to do that. Maybe he's reassigned. I personally would be surprised if they're firing Wilkes after they lose in Denver. I also don't think Woody wants we fired someone else after losing in London. I mean, maybe like they have Carolina and Cincinnati. If their defense remains horrific into the bye week, then maybe there's a change. I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, usually I guess that makes sense that if you want to make a change, you do it during the bye week so you have an extra week. So I guess that would make sense.
Yep.
Still, I just wish we didn't have to talk about this. I wish we could talk about something positive for once. I listen to I don't really listen to the commentators on Fox or CBS. I listen to Sirius XM, and I listen to Bob and Anthony Beck. I just like listening to them while, watching the game on mute. So I just think it's a better experience. And what surprised me is both of them during the first drive, when they had the decision to take the penalty and go on second and goal on 3, or decline and go for it, third and goal at the 1. They both agreed to take the penalty, which shocked me. So I guess the analytics say you take the penalty from the 3.
Yeah, in hindsight, Chuck, we talked about it earlier. I think Glenn would want that back. Third and goal from the 1, call quarterback sneak twice. Tush push. You voted for the tush push. Use it. All right. All right, more of your calls before we wrap. Let's shout out Black Gypsy. He's in the raffle for 1. Eli Betts is in the raffle. I'm going to gift the membership coming up. We only have 7 gifted memberships this show. We have a signed CJ Mosley jersey up for grabs. So if you want to win and get entered in this week's prize pot, make sure you gift the membership like Eli did. And since he did, this is for you.
The practices have been damn good. They are, but
Mr. Bonji says, Jake, what do you want more, a Jets win or a night with Margot? Yes. More calls. Ralphie Rocks is next. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, how are you, Jake?
I'm good. How are you?
Could be better. Jets
You're going to London,
live.
aren't you?
2 days, yeah, going to London.
Wow. Is you flying Thursday?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. You been before?
Never been to London.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to share some of the info. I have info from the official Gangrene UK crew. I'm going to put it in the Discord. I'll spread awareness on the show for people making the trip. There's plenty of things to do for Jet fans out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, my wife's got a whole itinerary, so
you probably don't need my help then.
She wrote me, quid pro quo, I'm going to see Lady Gaga in Stockholm, Sweden, and then Katy Perry back in London after the Jets game. So I'm taking one for the team on that end too. So
love it.
All right, couple quick points. I know you're on 2 hours. You got a do or die game for the Yankees coming up, but the tackling is terrible. It's like the worst tackling team I've ever seen the Jets. I mean, we normally have a decent middle linebacker or at least somebody that tackles. And don't you think tackling is sort of, forget about all the schemes. It comes down to just like one-on-one effort, like rebounding in basketball. You go up, you go get the ball. Here, someone's running at you. You're the last guy left. It's 30 seconds before the half, you tackle that guy, and we're not really tackling. I don't even think it comes down to technique. And do you think the guys, is Glenn maybe a hard ass, like a Parcells type, and the guys are rebelling against it? Or do you think he's too much of a player's coach and they're having a field day? Do you think it's one of those two things?
I don't know. It could be any of those things.
Yeah.
I think something's clearly being lost in the messaging. They're not buying into what Wilkes wants them to do schematically. There's breakdowns every week. We just did the film review before. I think the effort was just bad, in particular in that game Sunday. Like, it looked like they quit. I hate to use that word. I know these guys are professionals, but that's what it looked like.
Fourth quarter, I think guys made business decisions. I love Quinnen Williams, but I think he made business decisions because he was making tackles like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and getting no penetration at all against backups on the Cowboys. So I think he was making the business decision. The one thing I'm going to ask you is not to compare us to the Jaguars, because did you see how Trevor Lawrence fell down twice and was still able to score? Whereas we on 4th and 1 with Braylon Allen earlier in the year, we couldn't even score in like a jumbo package.
Yeah, it's brutal. And Trevor Lawrence was 2-8 last year. That team was poorly coached, and now look what happens, right? Like Ben Johnson has the Bears at 2-2. They were worse than the Jets last year.
They have some puck luck going on though. They fall down and they twice, and he still scores on a keeper.
I get it, but they beat the Niners last week on the road. I mean, they look legit. Liam Cohen, like I don't care what he sounded like at his press conference. Guess what? Glenn said we're built for this shit, and turns out we're shit. Liam Cohen said Duval funny, and guess what? He's been the better coach so far. I just want to win. I just want winning games.
Yeah, we need a little luck though. Like we even need the Cam Ward throw the interception, have the other team kick it around back into the end zone, and we jump on it for a touchdown. We need something to go our way to turn the ship around. Hopefully, we're at rock bottom. And the last thing I'll say is, I'm still keeping the Sanchez jersey up on the wall here.
Yeah,
he's gone from famous to infamous. So I don't know. Perfect for the Jets. We'll take it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
No offense to the guy who got really hurt. I mean, but I'm just saying it. Making a little jest of it.
Ralphie, safe travels to London, my friend. That's brutal what happened with Sanchez. Terrible. I don't know. Maybe there's more info that's yet to be released, but awful. Feel for the 69-year-old guy. I mean, those pictures are horrific. Terrible. It's such a weird story too, right? Because I know people at ESPN that worked with Mark. I know people at Fox that have worked with him directly. I had players. I work with Bart Scott. I work with Mike Tannenbaum on Sundays. Like, no one ever has a bad thing to say about Mark, the person. So out of character, this stuff, if true. Mike D's Nuts says, put me in the raffle, Jake. I shall, Mike D's Nuts.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
He's in for 2. We're giving away a CJ signed jersey. CJ Mosley. Jersey Jet is in the raffle now for 1. Oh, yeah. New Q says, put Lane in the raffle. New Q. Lane Train in for 2. What a gesture. How about that? Anthony Lozerato. Anthony, I finally was able to get over to UPS today and sent you your signed Wayne Corbett jersey. So it will be on the way and probably arrive either tomorrow or Thursday. They're usually pretty quick. So good luck. And he says, Jake, great show. Your show makes the drive home tolerable. Thank you, Anthony. You're the man. Let's hope the Yankees win tonight. Anthony's a huge Yankee fan, as are many of my listeners. Rodon better pitch well. I'm very nervous. Very nervous. Bats got to wake up. That goes without saying, but they can't be in a hole early. Got to get the Bieber early and dictate the game. You win tonight, they got a bullpen game tomorrow. You got a chance. And you get it back to Toronto, you take your best chance. That's what you got to do when you're down 0-2. It's win 1. More calls. Philly Noodles is next. Hey, Philly.
What up, man? What's going on?
How we feeling?
I'm all right. I mean, I'm trying to make sense of it all. Being there live, with everybody for BG's camp. It was a great time. That was my second tailgate like that, and it's dope as hell. And it's like, damn. And the Tampa experience, I mean, that was such an exhilarating high to hit such a low that like this would be like, all right, let's see what happens. Down 4 linemen. That's what we kept talking about in the parking lot. We're like, yo, they're down 4 linemen. I mean, come on. I'm like, he's got to hit that. He's got to hit that once. Like, it's got to happen at least once. No, we did when he gave himself up. We got our sack on a given up play. He's like, yo, let me slide out, guys. We're whooping your ass. I don't feel like getting hurt. Let me take this play off. Actually, we were worried about who took plays off. Dak Prescott took a play off when he slid for a sack. He said, I feel bad. Here you go, guys. You get some bonus points here. What was alarming was the 3 seconds. Justin Fields, I saw some all 22 breakdown. It wasn't Joe. I gotta rewatch the show. But he missed this throwing the ball to Garrett 3 times before everything took a shit. So to everybody alluding, like we all been second half shit, padded stats. It's kind of depressing. So to me, what bothers me is when we have to sit here as fans and do that take where we're like, well, look what Jacksonville's doing, like you just mentioned, and look what the Bears are doing. Well, they're doing it with better quarterbacks. And that's where I'm getting my confusion is with it feels like Enstrand is doing the right thing little by little. And it's kind of reminding me of the Salah moment where we thought, what's his face as a coordinator was doing all right. And then Zach Wilson himself. Well, Fields almost seems like he's worse than Zach Wilson figuring shit out. So it's like, oh damn, it's like you can't write that shit right unless it just happens. And unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna just happen. And with everything that happened with the 33rd team and everything, like they're not going to say, oh yeah, we're gonna pull the plug on Wilkes. Everybody stop. It's not happening. This is riding all the way out. It's just the fact of the matter. We televised we were gonna go get 33rd team. Yeah, I mean, you're sitting next to your co-host on with ESPN. He probably tell you off the air, like, bro, you know, they're writing the ship. It's going all the way. They're not gonna pull the plug. I think like you know, it would have to be beside the historic run that's so bad right now. It would have to be the 0-17 shit is where you're like, well, we're the first ever. No, that's that. But I think our get right game, I feel like it's gonna be the fucking Browns. That's it. I mean, that's what I think it's gonna be. It's a rookie quarterback. You can probably throw some schemes at Gabriel and ruin him. That's what I think. And that sucks that it's that far and it's after the bye. And we're historically bad bye teams. And Jake, you can literally mention it right after we're all done with this call. We are historically shit. But I think that's where the get right happens. And that's fucking sad. But I don't know if, you know, I don't want to pick number one. I don't want to hear no quarterback number one. Get the quarterback that makes sense whenever the fuck it happens. Excuse my language. Dak just beat us. That's a 4th round quarterback. Jalen Hurts like Justin Fields. Sure. That's a 2nd round quarterback. You don't have to be a 1st round quarterback. We clearly are depleted of enough weapons, right? So
if they're picking in the top 3, though, they're going to take a quarterback. Yeah. That's how it goes.
I don't think so. I honestly, unless Drew, it's up to Moogie and what he thinks and that whole staff thinks. But what are you going to do? Bring in 33rd again to help them pick a quarterback? You know what I mean? You might want to talk to what's his name about it. But yeah, it sucks. But I don't want to feel good about saying prediction. Browns get right. That might be it. You know, because you know Denver's going to be
game this year.
That's week what? Not 10, 9.
It's after the bye. If they win one game this year, Aaron Glenn is getting fired. If they go 1-16, bro, you kidding me?
I don't think they go 1-16. I'm saying that's the get right. That's where we finally fucking win a game, dude.
So either they're going to lose to Denver, Carolina, and Cincinnati before the bye week and be at the bye week 0-8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's experienced 0-10 and 1. And look at Campbell, right? That's what we keep going back to. And am I myself, you know, am I tricking myself feeling that that's what's going to happen too? Yeah, probably. You know, we're going to go 0 whatever and then get that win. And okay. And then maybe rack 2 more and go 3-14.
Great.
And
then,
fuck.
Tell you what, you just answered my question, though, I had for Aaron Glenn.
We're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it. So any questions?
Well, Philly News just told us when the Jets are going to win a game. Cleveland. They'll be 1-8. Tremendous. Ralphie checking in. He says, get some Chipotle, Jake. Thanks for 2+ hours of therapy this afternoon. Thank you, Ralphie. You're the man. You know, someone told me it's National Taco Day. Right? That was Chuck Wagon. No, who was the caller that said that? I don't know. Might have to get some tacos tonight. Ralphie, thank you. Dinner's on Ralphie.
JETS. Yes. All right, let's go.
Spencer Green says, chat/Jake. No, nothing else to say about this piss poor team. How about this? How should I decorate the bag I will begin to wear on my head while I watch this dumpster fire of a team? We're 5 games in, man. It's so depressing to do this. Once again, if you're excusing this, you're part of the problem, right? Because if I told you before the year I thought the Jets were going to start 0-5, and let's be real, they're losing Sunday, 0-6, you would have said, no way, I'm too negative. You're just butthurt. They got rid of Rodgers, Jake. Ugh. Don't accept this. This is a joke. This is a poorly coached football team. If Aaron Glenn never played for the Jets, you all who are against my opinion on that would disagree, or would agree, excuse me. The only thing Aaron Glenn has going from that he is a former Jet and that there are still 12 games remaining this year for him to turn this around and show he can coach and get this team better. That's it. There's no real positives. They stink. They're garbage time kings. That's the only time they look competent outside of the first game, which is an outlier. had a lot to do with Mike Tomlin not having film on Justin Fields and Tanner Engstrand. Brutal. Ladies and gentlemen, today's closer, the big fella.
His home smell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his smell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show smell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super chats. Loves a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Loves a big fella.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hello, Mr. Big Fella.
How are you? That tweet you made today, very, very nice work.
It went viral. I had no idea because I turned the notifications off, but I got a bunch of new followers today. I was like, what did I tweet that? And I was like, oh, wow, 10,000 likes. Jeez.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, oh, Jake's doing some work. All right,
Yeah.
good. That's good. I got a question for you, though. How would you evaluate our past draft?
Incomplete. However,
kind of early, right?
Yeah, it's a good draft if Membu's legit and if Taylor's legit, because then you hit on your first and second round picks, and Membu plays a premium position. So even if Arian Smith doesn't work out, or Malachi Moore, or it looks like Tyler Barron's a bust, or whatever, if they got the first two picks right, you live with that for a first time GM.
Yeah, no, I agree with that also, and that's one of the reasons why it's still too early to judge this whole regime after 5 games and a decent draft, in my opinion, so far.
Well, free agency has been horrific.
You want to know something? I think Aaron Glenn, I think he was just doing bravado and stuff like that. He went out there, he's like, oh, I'm going to win this, I'm going to win that, and everything. With the way they signed people this offseason, they went bargain basement. All right, they weren't going to win. The Patriots went for stuff this year. I think that they were just I honestly think that they thought that this year was just like, we're going to see where everything is. And I'm not saying that's right. Okay, I'm not saying that's right, but what I am saying is that I think the messaging really screwed up this whole thing. If they said, oh, it's going to take a long time, or not a long time, but if it's going to take a while for us to build this back, we see some things, and Rome wasn't built in a day, maybe this would feel a little better. But the way they went about it with that press conference and everything, it made everything worse. And now everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? And it's justified. It's totally justified. So I don't know. I mean, for me, like I said, I think it's a little too early to judge Glenn. He's going to last the year. And then even after the year, even if I think Wilkes will be a sacrificial lamb or something like that, which is well-deserved because he sucks. But that's how I see this playing out. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, big ships take a long time to turn around unless you're Mike Vrabel in his first year with the Patriots, Liam Cohen, first time ever head coach, Ben Johnson, first time ever head coach with their teams. And then we're the only team that doesn't have a win. Like, it's tough, man. I think Wilkes is gone at the end of the year, though. I mean, if you want to use a Lions comparison, Campbell fired Anthony Lynn. He was the OC, and he hired Ben Johnson or promoted Ben Johnson. Now you have probably Wilkes needing to go outside and hire someone different because it hasn't worked.
I get it. I think Aaron Glenn's going to have to take over the play calling for Wilkes. Maybe after the London game, we better beat Carolina. That's going to piss me off. But after the London game, I think Aaron Glenn should. If we're giving up 30 points a game, okay, it's justified, Now, on the other hand, I know those coaches were, they're having good seasons, but I went back into history, and Jimmy Johnson was 1-15 when they drafted Troy Aikman in his first year,
right?
And he was a seasoned college coach, and I know college is different from the pros, but like I said, it's still early. JJ's given up the ship saying he's not it. We don't know that yet. We really don't know that yet. Jet fans, it can't rain every day, man. And I know it's been raining for the past 15 years, but God damn it, the sun's gonna come out sometime, and we're gonna live and die with this team. Gorman, I'm very disappointed in.
Oh, sorry, it was raining.
It's raining tears, not memberships. But Gorman, yeah, that was very disappointing what you did yesterday, brother. And I thought my friend was retired, but he may be coming back. But
what a fraud! What a fraud! This Charles Gorman, Colts
yeah.
fan.
I mean, after everything that we stood by him the whole time and everything, bro. I don't know. It's not a good look, Charles. You live and you die with the team, and you go from there. But that's really pretty much what I have to say. I mean, I think Wilkes I don't think his duties are gonna last a year. I think he's gonna be relieved of them. He's not gonna be fired. They're probably gonna do something like what they did with Hackett last year.
The old reassigning.
Exactly. So that's all I got. Go Yankees tonight.
Please.
Don't have Rodon go past the 5th inning, please, because he sucks after the 5th inning.
Yeah, the bullpen sucks worse, though. So if he's dealing, let him pitch till you get in trouble. Who's getting outs tonight? You don't trust anyone in that pen besides Bednar right now.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is Cruz really that bad?
I don't think he got hit last time. There's no one you trust. They don't have their bullpen last year was amazing. This year, their bullpen stinks.
Yeah. Well, we gotta get this win tonight and then get Schlitter tomorrow. So.
Yep, get it back for Game 5 and hope Fried could bounce back because he was horrific in Game 2 and he's been bad in Toronto every start.
Absolutely. But anyway, Jake, I just want to give you kudos on that tweet.
Thank you.
It was good stuff. And give my opinion on the situation. And I'll see everybody Sunday morning for this London game. No matter how bad we feel, we're still going to root for this shit. So there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why he's the big fella. Hell yeah. All right, as promised, I gifted the community a membership. One gifted membership from yours truly. It went to listener KJH, who was in the raffle. If you want to join the jersey raffle, it is about to happen momentarily. I will give people until the end of this clip. And then if you have not gifted or sent in a super chat that qualifies, you're a bleep out of luck for today.
Yeah, I ran out of oregano. I was like, ow. You know how that fun is. It never ends. Yeah. It's always one thing after another. You know how that works. Yeah. All right, what do we got here for grand total?
28.45.
28.45. I'll take care of you. Don't worry. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
He just told us his pin.
Service with a smile. That is the sexiest thing you're ever going to see.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Gypsy added himself another raffle entry during that ordeal. Mr. Gypsy, job well done, sir. Job well done. It went to listener TJ Begg. Okay. On that note, time to spin the Wheel of Champions and give away a signed CJ Mosley jersey.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Good luck to everyone who entered. Only one can win today. If you win, you have to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name, your address, so I know where to send it. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the jersey is Black Gypsy. He has done it, folks. Black Gypsy, your winner. He called a shot. He wrote, I want that jersey. Well, guess what, Black Gypsy? You got that jersey. Hit the jet chant. Let's go. Congrats, Black Gypsy. And it is a black signed CJ Mosley jersey. I will be sending it out to you this week. Job well done, sir. Job well done. All right, that does it. We're back tomorrow. Nick Shine on at 10 a.m. We'll talk about our football team with him. Tomorrow afternoon, Jeff Parles will be with us. So we made it to Wednesday, folks. We've made it to Wednesday. Hey, before we get out of here, Sean says, wow, you get a jersey from a bum. Shows me you know nothing about football. If you think C.J. Mosley, who made an all-pro team with the Jets, is a bum, the only thing you know is that you're a douchebag. And, yeah, quite frankly, I don't really want to talk to you anymore. See ya. All right, on that note, because that guy sucks, let's end the show. Love all of you. Thank you for watching. Let's go down memory lane at the end here. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy when the legend that is the Lane Train made his debut on this show. Let's go to Lane, who's up next. Hello, Lane.
Hey, oh, hi.
Hello, Lane.
How is everything? Yes?
You're on the air, Lane.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Lane.
Hi. So, yeah, I'm happy about the way the Jets played today. And, you know, they moved the ball, and they did great. Look, okay. I mean, I know it was raining out. Did you see the game?
No, I didn't watch it. What happened?
Well, they won. And the other team lost.
Lane, thank you. Come on, man. It can't be a real call.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bass, and Jake. Get it started, Gator.
Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
The super chat always cut the line. And the Boyalo dances really fine. When she's so sucking and back them jets. My senorita, you know she gets real happy. Real happy if that female lookers are right. Hey, Gator, it's a family show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.